Yahakodem. Rise and face the east. The calling of the 12 tribes. Tribes to the east. Y'all what's up?
Y'all what's up?
Bon Yum
Bon Yum.
Dan.
Dan.
Shema.
Shema.
Yashara.
Yashara.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
So, turn. Tribes to the south. Shamaiwa.
Shamaiwa.
Yashakar.
Yashakar.
Zabalawa.
Zabalawa.
Shema.
Shema.
Yashara.
Yashara.
Yahweh. Song, church. Tribes to the west. Gad.
Gad.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Naphtali.
Naphtali.
Shema.
Shema.
Yashara.
Yashara.
Yahweh. Song, church. Tribes to the north. Rob. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Lord Yah.
Lord Yah.
Shema.
Shema.
Yashara.
Yashara.
Yahweh. Song, sorry. Sabbath day blessing. Blessed be Yahweh in the name of the anointed Yahweh Shai that gives us the Sabbath in peace. Barak the Yahweh.
Barak Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Hawa'ah.
Adonai.
Shabbat.
Shabbat.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Blessed be Yahweh in the name of the anointed Yahweh Shai that gives us the law. Barak the Yahweh.
Barak Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Hawa'ah.
Adonai.
Torah. Blessed be Yahweh in the name of the anointed Yahweh Shai that gives us the light to see. Barak the Yahweh.
Barak Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Hamashiach. Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Hawa'ah.
Adonai. Ha'awor.
Lakra'ah. Blessed be Yahweh in the name of the anointed Yahweh Shai that gives us the ram's horn to call the people. Barak the Yahweh.
Barak Yahweh.
Ba'ashem. Hamashiach. Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Hawa'ah.
Adonai. Ha'awor. Ha'ayo.
Quran.
Lakra'ah.
Ha'ayin. Blessed be Yahweh in the name of the anointed Yahweh Shai that gives us the olive oil to anoint Israel. Barak the Yahweh.
Barak Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Hamashiach.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Hawa'ah.
Adonai. Hasheman. Zayah. Lamashak. Yasharah.
Psalm 92.
Psalms 92. It is a good thing to give thanks unto Yahweh, and to sing praises unto thy name, O Most High. To show forth thy loving kindness in the morning, and thy faithfulness every night, upon an instrument of 10 strings, and upon the psaltery, upon the harp with a solemn sound. For thou, Yahweh, hast made me glad through thy work. I will triumph in thy works of thy hand. O Yahweh, how great are thy works, and thy thoughts are very deep. A brutish man knoweth not, neither doeth a fool understand this. When the wicked spring as the grass, when all the workers of iniquity do flourish, it is that they shall be destroyed forever. But thou, Yahweh, art most high forevermore. For lo, thine enemies, O Yahweh, For lo, thine enemies shall perish. All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered. But my horn shalt thou exalt like the horn of a unicorn. I shall be anointed with fresh oil. Mine eye also shall see my desire on mine enemies. In mine ear shall hear my desire of the wicked that rise up against me. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Those that be planted in the house of the Most High shall flourish in the courts of our power. They shall still bring forth fruit in old age. They shall be fat and flourishing, to show that Yahweh is upright. He is my rock, and there is no righteousness in him. Ba'asham, Mashiach Yahushua, the water from Yad. Amen.
Amen.
The Ten Commandments, Rosh Hashanah. La'ah.
La'ah.
Yahaya. Lakah.
Lakah.
Alhaya.
Alahai.
Achoria.
Achoria.
Alhanya.
Hakoria.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Daisha.
Daisha.
Lakah.
Lakah.
Hasa.
Hasa.
La'ah.
Wala'ah.
Daipadam.
Daipadam.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Talakwakwa.
Talakokwa.
Sham.
Sham.
Yahawah.
Yahweh.
Hashawa.
Yahshua.
Zakah.
Zakah.
Ayawam.
Ayawam.
Hashabah.
Kashabash.
Lakwadash.
Lakwadash.
Kabar.
Kabar.
Abaka.
Abaka.
Wa'amaka.
Wa'amaka.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Ratazak.
Ratazak.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Tana'ah.
Tara'ah.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Taganah.
Tagana.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Tainah.
Tainah.
Shakur.
Shakur.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Lakamad.
Rakamad.
Kal.
Kal.
Asherah.
Asherah.
Ra'ayat.
Bara'ayk.
Hashem.
Hashem.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Yahushua. The water.
Water.
From Yad.
Yad.
Aman.
Aman.
Psalms 121.
Psalms 121. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going forth, out, and thy coming in from this time forth, and even forevermore. By Shema Shak Yahushai, the water, the Yad. Amen.
Aman.
Lord's Prayer and last one, Kadash. Abanau.
Abanau.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kadash.
Kadash.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawah.
Yahweh.
Malakavka.
Malakavka.
Taba'ah.
Taba'ah.
Ratazak.
Ratazaka.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Baharatazak.
Baharatazak.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Bashemayim.
Bashemayim.
Watananau.
Watananau.
Lakum.
Lakum.
Kayawam.
Kayawam.
Wasalakna.
Wasalakna.
Kabawafina.
Kabawafna.
Kasalakna.
Kasalakna.
Kabawafina.
Kawawafina.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Tabanayanaw.
Tabayanaw.
Banasaywan.
Banisayawan.
Abo.
Abo.
Awashayna.
Awashayna.
Mayan.
Bayan.
Rad.
Rad.
Kayah.
Ayah.
Laka.
Laka.
Amalakwa.
Amalakwa.
Waha'ala.
Waha'ala.
Wataiparua.
Latai Pa'ara.
Laibalami.
Laibalami.
Bahashem.
Bahasham.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
The water.
The water.
Yad.
Yad.
Aman.
Aman.
Psalms 133. Shayar.
Shayar.
Ama'adwa.
Ama'adwa.
Adawad.
Ladawan.
Ana.
Aina.
Ma.
Ma.
Tawad.
Tawad.
Wama.
Wama.
Ayam.
Nayam.
Shabbat.
Shabbat.
Akim.
Akim.
Gum.
Gum.
Yakad.
Yakad.
Shaman.
Hashaman.
Atawad.
Atawa.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Ara'ash.
Ara'ash.
Yarad.
Yarad.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Hazakwan.
Hazakwan.
Zakwan.
Zakwan.
Aharon.
Aharon.
Shayarad.
Sayarad.
Ayah.
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 Marawafiwa.
Marawaktua.
Katol.
Katal.
Kamrumwan.
Kamrumwan.
Shayarad.
Shayarad.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Ariyah.
Ariyah.
Zawan.
Tazawan.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Sham.
Sham.
Tazwa.
Tazwa.
Yahawah.
Yahweh.
Af.
Af.
Abraka.
Abrakad.
Ayam.
Ayam.
Kat. Ay.
Ay.
Ibalam.
Ayablam.
Bahashem.
Bahashem.
Mashiach.
Mashiach.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
The water.
The water.
Yah.
Yad.
Aman.
Aman.
Psalm 150 to praise.
Praise ye Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Praise the Most High in the sanctuary.
Hallelujah.
Praise him in the firmament of his power.
Hallelujah.
Praise him for his mighty acts.
Hallelujah.
Praise him according to his excellent greatness.
Hallelujah.
Praise him at the sound of the trumpet.
Hallelujah.
Praise him with the psaltery and harp.
Hallelujah.
Praise him with the timbrel and dance.
Hallelujah.
Praise him with the string instruments and organs.
Hallelujah.
Praise him upon the loud cymbals.
Hallelujah.
Praise him upon the high sounding cymbals.
Hallelujah.
Let everything that have breath praise Yahweh.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Praise ye Yahweh by Hashem Mashak Yahushua, the water from Yad. Amen.
Amen.
All praise be to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob for his mercy forever. The Lord Yahweh for their Shabbat service and peace. Continue to watch over all of Israel scattered by the four corners of the earth, teaching his word, waking up thy people, to bring them back to the fold, bring them back to the marriage. Shema Mashak Yahushua, the water, the yard, Amen.
Amen.
Shabbat, maybe see. All right, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom to all Israel on the Shabbat day. All right, so we're doing a pre-Shabbat class. It's basically on should we mingle with other nations is the topic. Because I know there's a lot of YouTube channels of a lot of divestment, what they call, or trying to date other nations. So we have a lot of this so-called pink pill, red pill. This battle between the male and the female gender, okay? And it's creating division amongst our people. And the people, some of our people don't realize it. Because a lot of our men hate the black women, the black women hate the men. There's like back and forth. So there's this really big thing that's on the YouTube channel besides, abortion and gun laws. So we're going to tackle that issue for our people. All right, so we're going to start off with Colossians 3:17.
Book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17. And whatsoever we do in word or deed,
Right.
to honor the name of Mashak Yahushua, giving thanks to the Most High, the Father by him.
So whatever we do in word or deed, we give it all to Hamashak Yahushua, giving him praises to the Father and the Son. So we're going to get a little bit into the book of Numbers. We're going to read chapter 12. All right. So we'll do like a little bit of back and forth, okay, about should we date other nations. And I guess the most noted one that everybody likes to run to is the one with Moses. So we're going to read a little bit about that. All right, let's start with that.
Numbers chapter 12, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses.
Now, they said when they spake against Moses, it was coming against who he was with in this context, right? Read.
Because of the Ethiopian woman.
Because of who?
Because of the Ethiopian woman.
Because Moses had an Ethiopian woman, right?
Whom he had married.
Whom he had what?
Whom he had married.
Whom he had married, read.
For he had married an Ethiopian woman.
Right.
And they said, hath the Most High indeed spoken only by Moses?
And they're probably like wondering, like, wait a minute, how did he give Moses a pass but not everybody else? Read.
Have he not spoken also by us?
And have he not included us also? Right. Read.
And the Most High heard it.
And he heard what it was murmuring about. Right. Read.
Now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth.
Right.
And the Most High spake suddenly unto Moses, and unto Aaron,
right.
and unto Miriam, come out ye three unto the tabernacle of the congregation.
So the Most High is telling them to come on out, because I'm getting ready to address you guys about this situation that you guys are having complaints about, right?
And they three came out.
Uh-huh.
And the Most High came down in the pillar of the cloud, and stood in the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Miriam,
Uh-huh.
and they both came forth.
And they both came forth, read.
And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Most High, will make myself known unto him in a vision,
Right.
and will speak unto him in a dream.
Uh-huh.
My servant Moses is not so,
Right.
who is faithful in all mine house.
He is faithful in all his house, read.
With him will I speak mouth to mouth,
Uh-huh.
even apparent, and not in dark speeches.
Speeches or parables, read.
And to the Most High shall he behold.
Uh-huh.
Wherefore then be not afraid to speak against my servant Moses.
Right. Read on.
And the anger of the Most High was kindled against them, and he departed.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, you're going all the way to 16.
And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, wherein we have sinned. Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed, when he cometh out of his mother's womb. And Moses cried unto the Most High, saying, Heal her now, O Most High, I beseech thee. And the Most High said unto Moses, If her father had but spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out from the camp 7 days.
So she had to be separated from everybody else for a whole week. Read.
And after that, let her be received in again. And Miriam was shut out from the camp 7 days. And the people journeyed not till Miriam was brought in again.
Right.
And afterward, the people removed from Hazeroth and pitched in the wilderness of Paran.
All right. So let's go to Deuteronomy, the classic, 7 verse 1.
Of Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1.
When
the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it,
right,
and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites,
right,
and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou.
right,
And when the Most High thy power shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them.
you should do what?
Thou shalt smite them,
We were supposed to smite these other nations, but we didn't. Read.
and utterly destroy them.
And destroy them, right?
Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them.
And we're not supposed to be making covenants with these other nations, but we did it anyway. So there's nothing different from what happened back then to what's going on in this present day, the so-called 2020. Okay, it's the same thing revolving. There's nothing new under the sun. Read on.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Repeat that again.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
And we're not supposed to be making marriages with these other nations. Because they have their own deity, they have their own gods. We have the Most High Yahweh. Okay? Read.
Thy daughter
Uh-huh.
thou shalt not give unto his son,
Right.
nor his daughter thou shalt take unto thy son.
Right. And vice versa. Read on.
For they will turn away thy son from following me.
They will do what?
For they will turn away thy son from following me,
Right.
that they may serve other gods.
That they may serve other gods. And that's what's going on with our nations today. Okay? A lot of this, like I was saying earlier about the investment groups and men go their own way, and you got these YouTube channels about men going to foreign countries, getting with these Japanese women and Asian women and all these other nations, but they're nothing but heathen stuff. But they don't know that. Okay? But they don't know the law of the Most High God. Right? Read on.
So will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly.
Right.
But thus shall ye deal with them.
Uh-huh.
You shall destroy their altars and break down their images and cut down their groves and burn their graven images with fire.
Right. So we shouldn't hold images of these other nations within your households. Okay. The Most High said we had to burn these images down. We had to cut their groves, understand, and burn the stuff with fire. Okay. So we can't delve into what the other nations dwell with. All right. Just like Solomon did. So we're gonna go into Leviticus, chapter 20. Let's see there, and 22. Okay. All right, 22. Let's see here. Yeah, you can read 22 and then jump down to 26.
Leviticus chapter 20, verse 22.
Uh-huh.
Ye shall therefore keep all my statutes
Right.
and all my judgments,
And on my who?
all my judgments,
Uh-huh.
and do them, that the land whither I bring you to dwell therein spew you not out.
Right. Chapter 26.
Verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
And ye shall be holy unto me,
And we should be separate unto the Most High, read.
for I, the Lord, am holy,
Uh-huh.
and have severed
They
you,
have done what?
severed
You
you,
know, join together.
severed you
Severed you means to cut away, read.
from other people.
And that's a division that the people don't understand about the scriptures. They think John 3:16 is talking about the whole entire planet Earth, which is not. Okay, they don't get the whole context of the whole Bible. Okay, you can't just take one verse and just run with it and be like, okay, this is what this means. Everybody join hands, hand in hand. That's foolishness. All right. So now we're gonna go into Deuteronomy chapter 21. All right. We're going to start from verse 10. Okay. 10 through 17. Okay, yep.
Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 10.
All right.
When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies,
Against thy who?
thine enemies,
Thy enemies, read.
and the Most High thy power hath delivered them into thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive,
Right.
and seest among the captives a beautiful woman,
And who?
a beautiful woman.
So if you go on a war and you have to stumble across, a fine sister of another nation, read,
And hast a desire unto her,
and you desire unto her,
that
right?
thou wouldest have her to thy wife,
No, for thy girlfriend.
thou wouldest have her to thy wife,
You have the desire to want to marry her, read.
then thou shalt bring her home to thine house,
Uh-huh.
and she shall shave her head and part her nails,
Right.
and she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her,
Right.
and shall remain in thine house,
Uh-huh.
and bewail her father
Right.
and her mother a full month.
A full month, read.
And after that thou shalt go in unto her,
Right.
and be her husband,
And be a who?
be her husband,
Uh-huh.
and she shall be thy wife.
Right.
And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her,
And if you have no delight in her, if you don't desire her, read.
then thou shalt let her go with whither will, but thou shalt not sell her at all for money.
Uh-huh.
Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her.
Because thou hast humbled her, read.
If a man have two wives,
How many wives?
two wives,
Two wives, read.
one beloved
Uh-huh.
and another hated,
Right.
and they have borne him children,
Right.
both the beloved and the hated. And if the firstborn son be hers that was hated,
Uh-huh.
then it shall be when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he had, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn
Right.
before the son of the hated,
Uh-huh.
which is indeed the firstborn.
Right.
But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn by giving him a double portion,
How much?
a double
A
portion
double portion, read.
of all that he had.
Uh-huh.
For he is the beginning of his strength, the right of the firstborn is his.
Correct. Uh-huh. So we're going to jump into Solomon. So we're going to go to 1 Kings chapter 11, and we're going to read 1 through 13. All right. So we're going to get into the different nations that Solomon got with during this period of time. Okay. And a lot of our people are still doing that to this very day. All right. Bring it up.
1 Kings chapter 11, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
But King Solomon loved many strange women.
What kind of women?
Loved many strange women.
Many strange women. Okay, that's the key word, strange. Okay, it's not like, fellow Israelites. We call these other nations strange or heathens. Read.
Together with the daughter of Pharaoh,
Uh-huh.
women of the Moabites,
Women of the Moabites, the Chinese,
Ammonites,
Japanese,
Edomites,
Caucasians.
Sidonians,
Uh-huh.
and Hittites.
Besides, read.
Of the nations concerning which the Most High said unto the children of Israel,
What did he say?
ye shall not go in unto them.
And we should not go into these other nations, these other women. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they're very attractive, but they're not of our people. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our people tend to flock to these women because they have more femininity. And a lot of people have this issue with our women because they're too masculine. They want to argue all the time. That's the issue that we have with our nation of women. You understand? Read on.
Neither shall they come in unto you,
Uh-huh.
for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods.
And they will turn your heart after the God. I remember a while back, I don't know if it was Love and Hip Hop. I don't know if I was in the world or I was in the truth. And I remember there's one episode, there was this Muslim, and he had this sister, well, I don't know if she was sister of Puerto Rican or something like that. He was married to her, and she was crying about, oh, I want my son to experience his first Christmas, and he wasn't with none of that. So he had the right mindset, but he was just into that other religion. So I kind of get where he was coming from. So I remember that episode very vividly to this very day. Read on.
Solomon clave unto these in love.
And who?
In love.
In love, read.
And he had 700 wives.
Yeah, how many wives?
700 wives.
700 wives, read.
Princesses.
Uh-huh.
And 300 concubines.
300 concubines, read.
And his wives turned away his heart.
And they turned away his mind from following the law, statute, commandments that the Most High gave Solomon. And he decided to go with what they were going. Read on.
For it came to pass when Solomon was old,
Uh-huh.
that his wives turned away his heart after other gods.
After their own deities, read.
And his heart was not perfect
Right.
with the Most High's power,
Uh-huh.
as was the heart of David, his father.
Right. You understand? So, oh, okay. Oh, keep going. Keep going with all the 13.
For Solomon went after
He
Ashtaroth,
went after who? He went after Ashtaroth, read.
the goddess of the Zidonians,
Uh-huh.
and after Milcom, the abomination of the Amorites,
Right.
Ammonites.
Ammonites.
And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Most High,
And Solomon did who?
evil in the sight of the Most High,
Uh-huh.
and went not fully after the Most High.
And he didn't went fully after the Most High. His heart wasn't fully invested in the law, statute, commandments that the Most High gave him. All right? Because he was fully invested in these women. These women turned his mind away from the Most High. Read on.
As did David his father.
Uh-huh.
Then did Solomon build an high place for Chemosh.
He did what?
Then did Solomon build an high place for Chemosh,
Right? He did like sort of like an altar, like a shrine of some sort. Read.
the abomination of Moab,
Uh-huh.
in the hill that is before Jerusalem,
Right.
and for Molech,
And for who?
and for Molech,
For Molech, read.
the abomination of the children of Ammon.
Uh-huh.
And likewise did he for all his strange wives,
So what kind of wives?
strange wives,
Strange wives of the nations.
which
read.
burnt incense and sacrifice unto their gods.
And they burnt incense and sacrifice unto other deities. Read on.
And the Most High was angry with Solomon because his heart was turned from the Most High
Uh-huh.
power of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice.
How many times?
Which had appeared unto him twice,
They had appeared unto him 2 times. Read.
and had commanded him concerning this thing.
And right. And the Most High, confronted him about this thing, about him getting with these other nations. Read.
That he should not go after other powers,
Uh-huh.
but he kept not that which the Most High commanded.
And he didn't keep the laws. Okay, this is how the kingdom split, the division. This is how it fell because of Solomon. All right, decided to go after other powers. Read on.
Wherefore the Most High said unto Solomon, for as much as this is done of thee,
Uh-huh.
and thou hast not kept my covenant
Right.
and my statutes,
Uh-huh.
which I have commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee.
He will show you the what?
I will surely rend the kingdom from thee,
He will say he's going to rend it. I mean, he's going to tear it apart and split it. Read.
and will give it to thy servant.
He said, give it to thy servant. Read on.
Notwithstanding, in thy days I will not do it for David, thy
Uh-huh.
father's sake,
Right.
but I will rend it out of the hand of thy son.
He said, you're going to rend it out of your hand. Read.
Howbeit, I will not rend away all the kingdom,
Uh-huh.
but will give one tribe to thy son,
Right.
for David my servant's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, which I have chosen.
Which I have chosen. All right. So let's go into the book of Ezra, chapter 10. And we're going to read verse 1 through 19.
Book of Ezra, chapter 10, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now when Ezra had prayed, and when he had confessed, weeping and casting himself down before the house of the Most High,
All right.
there assembled unto him out of Israel a very great congregation of men and women and children.
All right.
For the people wept very sore.
He said the people wept very sore. All right. Let's get into it.
And Shechaniah the son of Jehiel, one of the sons of Elam, answered and said unto Ezra,
What he said.
we have trespassed against our power.
We have done what?
We have trespassed against our power.
How we went against the Most High. Read.
and have taken strange wives of the people of the land.
And they have taken strange wives of other nations. Read.
Yet now there is hope in Israel concerning this thing.
Uh-huh.
Now therefore, let us make a covenant with our power to put away all the wives and such as are born of them,
Uh-huh.
according to the counsel of my one,
Right.
and of those that tremble at the commandment of our power.
Right.
And let it be done according to the law.
He said, now therefore let us make an agreement with the Most High to put away all these wives. All right. Read on.
Arise, for this matter belongeth unto thee.
Uh-huh.
We also will be with thee. Be of good courage and do it.
Right.
Then arose Ezra and made the chief priests, the Levites,
So, the Levites, read.
and all Israel to swear that they should do according to this word, and they swear.
Uh-huh.
Then Ezra rose up from before the house of the Most High and went into the chamber of Johanan, the son of Elishib.
Right.
And when he came thither,
When
he
close.
did eat no bread,
Right.
nor drink water,
Uh-huh.
for he mourned because of the transgression of them that had been carried away.
Right. So he decided, you know what? I'm going to fast on this one. You know what I'm saying? Because of the transgression of our people. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
And they made proclamation throughout Judah and Jerusalem unto the children of the captivity,
All right.
that they should gather themselves together unto Jerusalem,
All right.
and that whosoever would not come within 3 days, according to the counsel of the princes and the elders, all his substance should be forfeited,
Right.
and himself separated from the congregation of those that had been carried away.
Uh-huh.
Then all the men of Judah and Benjamin gathered themselves together unto Jerusalem within 3 days.
Right.
It was the 9th month, on the 20th day of the month.
Right.
And all the people that sat in the street of the house of the Most High, trembling because of this matter,
They were scared, but they know they was about to get confronted about this. Read.
and for the great rain.
Right.
And Ezra the priest stood up and said unto them,
What he said.
Ye have transgressed,
Uh-huh.
and have taken strange wives,
Taking strange wives. Read.
to increase the trespass of Israel.
Uh-huh.
Now therefore make confession unto the Most High your power, the power of your fathers, and do his pleasure,
Uh-huh.
and separate
And do what?
yourselves, and separate
It
yourselves
says separate yourselves. Read.
from the people of the land,
Right.
and from the strange
From
wives.
the strange wives. All right. You jump down to 44, last verse.
Verse 44. All these had taken strange wives,
Uh-huh.
and some of them had wives by whom they had children.
Right. And that's the same thing that's going on today. Because a lot of our people, you know, they intermingle with these other nations. They think, you know, the heathen women is the best, the most feminine. You know, say I can deal with this person. All right. But they don't want to uplift our nation of people. They don't want to do that. Okay. The black woman is loud. She's argumentative. She wants to fight all the time. You know what I'm saying? She has an attitude. You know what I'm saying? We have to get our people in the right mindset of the Most High and follow the law, statute, commandments as nation people. Because these other nations, they're not going to follow the law, statute, commandments. They're not going to do what the Most High said. You know what I'm saying? They're going to follow their deities, and you're going to follow ours. We're going to follow ours. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference between us and these other nations. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get into.
I just wanted to make a point too.
Right.
You know, a lot of times our brothers say, you know, Eve is loud, she's this, she's a terrorist. And they go and follow, you know, homosexual men on YouTube with suits. But one thing they don't realize that, yeah, Eve could be bitter and upfront, but like behind the scenes, Eve is sweet.
Right.
The nations give a perception, like Esau and Moab, they may give a perception
Right.
that they're nice, that they're sweet, there's comfort. But at home, they're actually demonic as hell.
Right.
Feel me?
Yeah.
But Eve, she won't act like that, but she's actually gonna sweeten up to you.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's why when I went to Atlanta, I was talking to my niece. She's only like 16, and she was talking about, oh, I watched Love and Hip Hop, and I was telling her, I said, that's not the representation of our people. We don't act like that. At least carry yourself with some class. You know what I'm saying? She's young, but you know the mom's worldly and whatever. But you know she's a sweet girl, and I want you to keep yourself that way. You know what I'm saying? Don't look at TV and be like, well, that's how we're supposed to act. But that's not how we are as a nation of people. We shouldn't carry ourselves as such. All right. So we're going to Nehemiah chapter 13. and verse 23 to 27.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 13, verse 23.
Right.
In those days
Uh-huh.
also saw I Jews
Who? Jews, read.
that had married wives of Ashdod,
Of who?
of Ashdod,
Ashdod, read.
of Ammon,
Uh-huh.
and of Moab.
Other nations, read.
And their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod,
Uh-huh.
and could not speak in the Jews' language.
Now, what's considered the Jews' language? The Hebrew language, right? They couldn't speak that. But they said that the mothers are the first teachers of the children. Right? Read on.
But according to the language of each people.
Uh-huh.
And I contended with them.
He said, I contended with them. Read.
And cursed
And did
them.
what?
And smote certain of them.
He was like slapping them around, grabbing them by the raiment, read.
And plucked off their hair.
And he plucked off some of their beard and hair, read.
And made them swear by the Most High, saying,
Saying what?
Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons,
Uh-huh.
nor take their daughters unto your sons,
Right, vice versa. Read.
or for yourselves.
Uh-huh.
Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things?
Did not Solomon fall into the same trap as what your guys are doing? Read.
Yet among many nations was there no king like him,
There was no king like Solomon. Read.
who was beloved of his power.
Uh-huh.
And the Most High made him king over all Israel.
Right.
Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women cause to sin.
Right. It said, nevertheless, even him was with outlandish women that's causing to go astray. Read on. Last verse.
Shall we then hearken unto you to do all this great evil,
It says, shall we listen to you to do the same thing that Solomon did? Read.
to transgress against our power
Uh-huh.
in marrying strange
And
wives?
marrying who?
Strange wives?
And marrying strange wives. He's telling them the same thing. Should we follow the same footsteps as a forefather Solomon and go after strange wives? Lie. All right. So we're gonna go into, let's see here, Tobit 4 and 12. Okay, Penny. All right. And a whole lot more. Okay. I'm gonna do Tobit 4 and 12, and I'm gonna end it with, sorry, 25 on one. As you can see, there's not much change since back in biblical times to now. Like I said, there's nothing new under the sun. We're still doing the same thing. Giving these other nations, having relations with them, having children by these other nations, and vice versa. And that's creating a division amongst our people. We can't get on top trying to follow what other nations are doing. We can't do that. We can never prosper as a nation of people if we have this division amongst ourselves. All right? Go ahead, bring that up.
Tobit chapter 4, verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son,
Uh-huh.
and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers,
It said, chiefly, mainly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers. Read.
and take not a strange woman to wife,
He said, and take out a strange woman to wife. None of these other nations. Read.
which is not of thy father's tribe,
Uh-huh.
for we are the children of the prophets.
He said, not. He said, which is not of thy father's tribe. So we have 12 tribes, all right, that we can choose from within our nation of people. Read on.
Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
All right.
Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning,
From the who?
from the beginning,
From the very first start. Read.
even that they all married wives of their own kindred,
It said, even they all married wives of their own kindred. Read.
and were blessed in their children,
Uh-huh.
and their seed shall inherit the land.
And their seed shall inherit the land. Okay. That's how you pass over the inheritance. You keep it within your own nation of people. Okay. So how does it look like you marrying a Japanese woman and then you pass on the seed to wherever child comes out? It's not gonna be right. So for the process of time, I know I had more scriptures on this topic. We're gonna go into, let's see here. What's that Sadarach? Say it one more time. Sadarach 26. Okay, let me get Sadarach 26 in verse 19 through 21.
Sirach chapter 26, verse 19.
Uh-huh.
My son,
Right.
keep the flower of thine age sound,
Uh-huh.
and give not thy strength to strangers.
He said, give not your strength unto these other nations, strangers, read.
When thou hast gotten a fruitful
He
possession
said, when thou hast gotten a fruitful possession, okay, an Israelite woman, read.
through all the fields,
Uh-huh.
sow it with thine own
See the
seed,
what?
sow it with thine own
He
seed,
said, sow with thy own seed, read.
trusting in the goodness of thy stock.
And you gotta trust in the goodness of your partner, read.
So thy race,
So that
so
thy race, they got your nationality, your nation, read.
which thou leavest
Uh-huh.
shall be magnified.
Shall be who?
Magnified,
Right.
having the confidence of their good descent.
He said, having the confidence of the good descent. All right. So let's go to Sirach 25 and verse 1.
Sirach chapter 25, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
It
Everything outside was beautified. Read.
is still beautiful.
Uh-huh.
Lovely.
Israelites, read.
A man and his wife together.
And man is wife. If I be, you know, it's dark skin, but Caucasian wife still think about white people. Long eye, that's foolishness, man. So there's gonna be a division within the household. Okay, so how are we gonna agree as nation people if one nation believes in one thing and I believe in another? So it's not gonna work that way. So like I said, the class is about, you know, should we be mingling with these other nations? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the YouTube channels, you know, they got this thing with divestment, men go their ways, you know, men travel in different countries, trying to get to different nations. So, you know what I'm saying? We have to give our own nation of people to prosper as fellow Israelites, you know what I'm saying? So all praises be to the Most High, you know, for this class going over this topic that a lot of people seem to overlook. You know what I'm saying? So all praise to the Most High. Masha Yahweh.
Nothing.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
And it's good the captain's running man for the Shabbat service. All praise be to our Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and surely his mercy endure forever. You know, that topic teaches us, how to be more long-suffering towards one another. Because when we go out and go date these heathens, it's either because they're being a lustful demon, or you're just trying to run away from the issues that's going on within your nation.
Yeah.
Because it's either you being a lustful bastard, or you just running away because you refuse to deal with your own women of your own nation, or you refuse to deal with the men of your own nation.
Right.
Because if you could be submissive to the white man, that means you could be double as submissive to the black, so-called black and Hispanic man.
Mm-hmm.
If you could be as tender-hearted and more sensitive and more understanding to a so-called white woman, Chinese woman, then you could give that times 2 to your own women.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So that was a powerful lesson. Let's open up Colossians 3:17.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3, and verse 17.
That portion is Numbers 16 chapter 18, correct?
Book of Colossians, chapter 3, and verse 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of the other one Yahweh Shai, giving thanks to Yahweh and the Father by him.
God, all praises be to the Most High. Everybody should know by now what does Colossians 3:17 mean, right? So I'm gonna ask somebody, Mr. Malcolm, what does Colossians 3:17 mean?
What Yahweh Shai do?
Come, what Yahweh Shai do? Everything we say, everything we do, let it be a reflection of our other one's actions, man, and how he spoke, how he moved. That's something that we always gotta remember. You cannot be applying the scripture in your boarding children. You cannot be applying the scripture if you're dealing with a sister and you refuse to give the other children McDonald's too, because that's off as hell. You understand? That's something that was going viral on social media. If you're a brother and you think that's okay, that is not okay. Because if you understand this woman had children before you got with her, then you understood that the responsibilities it took when you took her, and the children that came with her, and the issues that came with her. That means you had to take you full well understood your responsibility. Now you can't get mad with her and say you want to give this one some McDonald's and not even give the other one some chicken nuggets and fries. That's off as hell. That why do you think the Most High took away Kevin Samuels? Because he gave a message, a partial message. A lot of things he was saying was crazy. Because that doesn't teach us how to be fathers to the fatherless, mothers to the motherless. Imagine you with a sister, right? Imagine you with a sister, and you already had like 3 children from other women, and she mistreat the other ones that you have, but not the ones she have with you. How would that look? That would look crazy. You'll probably feel some type of way. You want to call her a bee and everything under the sun. If the script was flipped. You understand? So I just wanted to speak a little bit on that. Let's get started at 24:22. Because today's portion is very interesting, man. It talks a lot about leadership, talks about promotion, talks about accountability. Today's portion.
The book of Sirach, chapter 24, and verse 22, page 85 in the Red Apocrypha. He that obeyeth me shall never be confounded.
Never be what?
Shall never be confounded.
So if we obey the Most High, we won't be confounded, right? We will not be confounded. What does it mean to be confounded? You're not gonna look crazy out here in the streets if you serve the Most High. You're gonna be safe in the tabernacle of the Most High if you obey Him. There's no need for you to be confounded. Read.
And they that work by me
Uh-huh.
shall not do amiss.
Should not do it.
Shall not do amiss.
You're not gonna go wrong. If you always do what the Most High tell you to do, you're not gonna make a bad mistake. You're not gonna make a wrong move. Read.
All these things are the book of the covenant of the Most High Power.
Uh-huh.
Even the law which
Even the what?
Even the law.
Even the law. Read.
Which Moses commanded for an heritage.
For who?
For an heritage.
For religion.
For an heritage.
Now, this is a good scripture to use when somebody say what religion you are. Because it tells us right here, the Most High gave Moses this law for an heritage. What's a heritage? What's a heritage? What's a heritage? A lot of scholars know. I remember Elder Polyp was, he's crazy he called me today. He used to always say this to soldiers guys. He used to get mad at me because I used to not want to do this. Use your iPhones to look up the words. He used to get mad at me all the time, soldiers guys, about that. Because I didn't want to do that.
Right.
So
Look up the word heritage for me, Bamisha. Because I don't feel like I'm cheating if I do that. He's like, just do it. Just do it. I'm like, no, Elder, I can't just do it. It's mine. You're doing soldiers fast.
A special or individual possession and a lot of portion.
That's right. This is a special possession the Most High gave us. A special possession that teaches us how to live, man, according to the will of the Most High. Teach us how to talk. Teach us how to eat correctly. How to behave. How not to be animals. That's what this heritage teaches us, man. And the Most High gave us this way of life for us to use it, really.
For an heritage unto the congregations of Jacob. Faint not to be strong in the Most High, that he may confirm you. Cleave unto him.
We got to cleave unto him. Cleave unto him by cleaving unto this heritage, really.
For the Most High, for the Other One Almighty is Yahweh alone.
Because he's the only power that we have. Because we're only here because we fear the Most High. Because we respect our heritage. We're fond of our heritage now. And we fear the Most High. That's the first step. That's what the scriptures say. You need to write 19:18 to 20. That's the first step, man. Because this heritage is the doctrine of life. That's what the Bible calls it. That's what's going to cause us to live. Out here in the streets, Jake is putting people to death. Esau putting people to death, spiritually and physically. But what we're learning how to do is how to raise up the dead, man. That's what this is teaching us. This instruction going over the Torah teaches you how to raise the dead. Go ahead and read that one, you got.
The book of Sirach, chapter 19, verse 18. Read page 81 in the Red Apocrypha. The fear of the Other One is the first step.
It's the what?
Is the first step.
Because you fear the lake of fire, because you fear Michael the archangel suplexing you into the lake of fire, you're here every Shabbat. Because you don't want to be casted away and the Messiah tell you, I never knew you, Negro. This is why you're here, because you have that fear of what could happen if you disobey the Most High. What could happen if you don't live up to his standard? That's what led you here. Read.
And wisdom obtaineth his love.
What did he say?
And wisdom obtaineth his love.
Now, what is wisdom? What is wisdom? You don't have to get the scripture, but what is wisdom? The wisdom and knowledge is two different things.
Is wisdom the application of knowledge?
Exactly. Wisdom is the application of knowledge. What is the knowledge? What's knowledge? Now, the reason why I do this is because this helped me when I read scriptures too. I always question when I read something in the scriptures because it made me force me to think outside of the box. And usually that helps me get the deeper things in the scriptures. What is knowledge? What's our knowledge? Should I say? That should be a hint right there. What's our knowledge?
The fear of the Most High.
The fear of the Most High is what?
Well, I got Proverbs 1:7.
What does that say?
It says, the fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge.
You gave me like a around the circle. You know when you got around a circle? You gave me one of those answers. Knowledge is the law, statute, commandments of the Most High. They should acknowledge the law out of his mouth.
Right.
Now, what the sister said was wisdom is the proper application of knowledge. So what is wisdom really? The proper application of what? The laws of the Most High. It's how you use the law of the Most High. Because you would have the law of the Most High and not know how to use it.
Yeah.
It's like you have a gun, right? Just because you have a gun don't mean you know how to use it.
Yeah.
Just because you have a basketball or football don't mean you know how to use it. You can have a t-shirt on and you probably try to put it on his pants. You don't know how to use it. It's how you use the law, statute, commandments of the Most High. Proverbs, it's like,
no, because I was just about to say, you could use the knowledge in a way to commit wickedness, because you know what to do, and you presumptuously go ahead and go against it. You know what I'm saying? So the knowledge is there, but like you said, if you don't apply it in the right way, on one hand it's righteousness, on the other hand it's wickedness. Right? On the other hand it's wickedness.
That's why the scripture says the law is good if you use it lawfully.
Yeah, I was going to say that, yeah.
Because I remember I was speaking to Captain Shamwala about this. I was like, imagine when we wasn't keeping the year of Jubilee, right? Or imagine the year of release. You sold your, you leased your house for those 7 years thinking you was going to get it back. You go back to your house and the brother tell you, hey man, listen, you ain't getting this back. All right, this mine. So forget the year of release. Forget the year of Jubilee. Just imagine that, right? That would be a way of using the knowledge right? But you use it on the left hand side because you know you're supposed to get that brother back his house after the 7 years, but yet you refuse not to. Like we say, like they say in the world, get it in blood. Now, right, the brother got a choice to make, right? Kill the brother to get his land back, but he might not want to do that. So that just goes to show you how we use the knowledge of the Most High to either do it right or do it wrong.
Right. Go ahead and let's continue reading Sirach.
The book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 20. No, Salaki, verse 19. The knowledge of the commandments.
I like it. Pass his notebook and his pencil so you can write down notes. Go ahead.
The knowledge of the commandments of the Most High.
The knowledge of the commandments of the Most High, read.
Is the doctrine of life.
This is the what?
Is the doctrine of life.
That's the keys. That's the secret of how to live correctly. That's the secret to how to be prosperous in your life. That's DJ Khaled always said he got the keys. This is the keys. Read.
And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality.
That's right. You're gonna live a long, prosperous life on earth, man. If you apply it correctly, if you have the proper application of the law of the Most High God. Because to not keep the commandments, that's what God is these curses. That's what the scripture says. It's actually a curse not to keep these commandments. A lot of our people think they're blessed not applying the commandments of the Most High. That's not true. Moses gave us this instruction. Let's get Deuteronomy 27 before we get into the portion. Deuteronomy 27, let's start at verse 11.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, verse 11. And Moses charged the people the same day, saying, These shall stand upon Mount Gerizim to bless the people when ye are come over Jordan.
So this is right before Moses passed away. He had one half of the tribes in the leadership bless the children of Israel blessings. He's going to have the other 6 tribes or families give the curses. And how you would get these curses. Read.
Simeon and Levi and Judah and Issachar and Joseph and Benjamin. These shall stand upon Mount Ebal to curse. Reuben, Gad, Asher, Zebulun, Dan, and Naphtali.
So these tribes are the ones that's going to tell the curses or be there present to listen to what the curses will be. Read.
And the Levites shall speak and say unto all the men of Israel with a loud voice.
Read.
Cursed be the man that maketh any graven or molten image, an abomination unto the Most High. The work of the hands of the craftsman, and put it in a secret place, and all the people shall answer and say, Amen.
So we know this is against the Most High's commandments. This is against our heritage. What is this called? Another word for this. It's called what? Start with an I. This is idolatry. You know, when our people have these crosses and Guadalupe and Virgin Mary on their neck, that's in direct offense against the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. Read.
Verse 16. Cursed be he that setteth light by his father or his mother.
This means to disrespect your parents.
Right.
What was one of the laws that was the first law given on promise? Honor thy what? Honor thy father and thy who? And thy mother. To go against that is a direct offense against the law. Read.
Verse 17. So like it. Verse 16. Cursed be he that setteth light by his father or his mother. And all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed be he that removeth his neighbor's landmark. And all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed be he that maketh the blind to wander out of the way. And all the people shall say, Amen.
Before we skip down to verse 24 to get to the point before we go into the portion, what does it mean to curse the blind to cause them to wander out of the way? Does that mean you just cursing out somebody that's blind? What does that mean? Well, F you blind. Is that what that verse is talking about? What does it mean?
You're talking about somebody that don't know fully?
You warm. You pretty hot. So what does that mean? She's hot. What does that mean? Let's read it again. Yeah.
Verse 18. Cursed be he that maketh the blind to wander out of the way.
That means you're taking advantage of somebody. Because the blind, they can't see. Right.
They're dependent on you to guide them.
Yeah.
So it's taking advantage. What did you say, sis? I'm just making sure I don't misquote what you said. What you said?
Oh, I forgot.
Oh, you. Oh, yeah.
Somebody who don't know footage.
Somebody who don't know
yeah.
footing and you taking advantage of them. It's against the Most High to take advantage of somebody who don't know. You understand? Who's dependent on you to guide them. Drop down to verse 24.
Verse 24.
Actually, verse 26 a lot.
Verse 26.
Mhm.
Cursed be he that confirmeth not all the words of this law to do them.
So you're cursed if you're not applying these laws, statutes, commandments. If you're not cleaving onto your heritage, you're cursed, man. When you start people saying, I'm blessed, nobody could judge me but God, they're cursed.
Yeah.
Jake needs to start tattooing on himself, I'm cursed. And saying love me or something.
Oh boy.
Because you're cursed if you're not applying all of these, confirming to do all these words. This is why we go over this portion. So we understand, we learn it, we hear it, we learn it, we understand it, and then we apply it. We confirm to do these words. So let's go over to number 16.
Salakia,
Go ahead.
just to expound on the point when you say they still feel blessed. This is why. Give me Deuteronomy 29:19.
29:19.
Yeah, Deuteronomy 29:19. All right, like the captain is bringing out, we just read all of these curses, right? That the Most High said, will come upon us. Everybody agreed, curse be the man that do X, Y, and Z. But then our people still feel blessed, and this is why. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 29 verse 19.
Read.
And it come to pass, when he heareth the words of this curse,
That we just read. Read.
that he bless himself in his heart.
That he do what?
Bless himself in his heart.
Right? We hear all of these things, we print out the curses, and that person turn around and say, well, I'm gonna just bless myself in my heart.
I'm
And we
straight,
know,
kid.
right? I'm good, I'm gonna be all right. But we know what? The heart is deceitful above all things. Keep reading.
Saying,
Uh-huh.
I shall have
He
peace.
shall have what?
I shall have peace.
But it just said, curse be the man, right? That remove his neighbor's landmark. But he says, I'm gonna have peace, read.
I shall be straight.
Uh-huh.
Though I walk in the imagination of my heart,
It's just imagination, it's not real. The reality is you're cursed. Read.
to add drunkenness to thirst.
Read.
The idle one will not spare him.
What the Most High gonna do?
The idle one will not spare
The
him.
Most High is not gonna spare you because you choose to be arrogant towards the law. You're not even ignorant because you know, right? The scriptures say, we bringing it out week in and week out. You know by now. You just choose to be arrogant towards the Most High. And the Most High said he's not gonna spare you for that. The Most High is not gonna be, you're not gonna be able to go to the Most High and say, well, I was just trying to live my life the best way. Because when you come to America, you don't tell the American government, well, you see things your way, I see things my way.
Yeah.
I don't think I should pay taxes. Listen, go ahead and try that out and see what happens. You think they're gonna spare you? Read. Verse 20.
The idle one will not spare him.
Uh-huh.
But then the anger of the Lord
Right.
and his jealousy shall smoke against that man.
It's gonna do what?
Smoke against that man.
The Most High deals with justice and judgment.
Right.
He deals with keeping of the laws and also executing the punishment for the laws. Read.
And all the curses that are written in this book
Uh-huh.
shall lie upon him.
Read.
And the Lord shall blot out his name from under heaven.
Right? Because at the end of the day, the Most High is the Almighty. He's the Most High. You blessing yourself in your heart, telling you you're gonna be straight. Guess what? And that's how we understand how they was able to come and take us on those slave ships, man. We thought we were still gonna be straight. The Most High told us, man, the land was gonna vomit us out if we went over there and defiled it, and it did such. You blessing yourself in your heart is not gonna work, man. You have to be real with yourself and say, yo, listen, I'm living under these curses, man. I'm going contrary to the words of the Most High. That's it on that count. Let's go to Numbers.
Go to Numbers chapter 16. The story's about to get good.
Con, right? And this is a perfect story about what we just went through. The book of Numbers, chapter 16.
Mm-hmm.
Now Korah, the son of Azar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi.
Son of who?
Levi.
Now, before we continue, right, Korah was a brother, right, from the tribe of Levi, just like Moses. Let's get an understanding what Kohath's responsibility was before we go into it. We're going to recap real quick so everybody's able to follow along what's going on. Let's get Numbers chapter 3, verse 29 to 31. Numbers chapter 3, verse 29 to 31.
The book.
Everybody say come when you're there. Because remember, the one thing that the Most High taught us up until now
Everybody has to play their what? You have to play your role. You have to play your position. When you don't play your position, what happens to us as a nation? Disaster.
Right.
If you're the hand and you're supposed to be the head, but you're trying to be the eyes, the body gonna be jacked up. Everything gets thrown out of whack when everybody's not playing their role in their position and their function. This is what the Most High taught us with how he set up the priesthood, how he set up the tabernacles, the captains and the officers. That's what he taught now.
Every in verse. So, and their ark, the ark, what? The ark,
The table where the house of
the
candles,
and
the walls.
we're
point, Noah was the man. Like, one point, Adam was the man. Moses is that man right now. Ain't nobody higher than Moses level right now. If Moses wanted to, he kind of already got to the Most High. Yo, send Michael to smite this Haitian, man. He forgot I'm the one you used to bring out of Egypt. He kind of did that if he wanted to, off real. But Moses was merciful and meek. That's something the Most High love about him. And that teaches us that's something we have to have.
That's right.
We have to learn how to be merciful. We have to learn how to be meek. Go ahead and read.
The book of Sirach, chapter 45, verse 1. And he brought out of him a merciful man, which found favor in the sight of all flesh, even Moses, beloved of God and men, whose memorial is blessed. He made him like to the glorious saints, and magnified him, so that his enemies stood in fear of him.
So let's go back to the portrait. So we hear a lot about Moses. Beloved, merciful, meek, blessed, man. And you have these brothers, they're telling Moses, you're doing too much. God is dealing with all of us, just like he's dealing with you. So these brothers probably were still in Egypt when the whole thing with Miriam happened. Because everybody should have known what happened with Miriam and why it happened. Let's go right back.
The book of Numbers, chapter 16, and verse 3. And they gathered themselves, and they gathered themselves together against Moses and Aaron, and said unto them, Ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Most High is among them. Wherefore then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of the Most High.
Read.
And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face.
He did what?
He fell upon his face.
Moses kind of just caused the plagues of Egypt to fall on his Haitian brother right now, if you wanted to. But the first thing he did is fall on his face because it shocked him. Because he went through all of that for them, and they'll be rising up against him time and time again and again. Read.
And he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, Even tomorrow the Most High will show who are his.
The Most High will do what?
Who will show who are his.
He said tomorrow the Most High going to show who he's with and who he is not with. Read.
And who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him.
He's going to deal with you on a high level. Whoever the Most High chooses. Read.
Even him who he have chosen will he cause to come near unto him.
Read.
This do. Take you censors.
Let's stop right. Let's get Galatians 6:3. Because we see the spirit of Carlos coming in. What's the spirit he's coming in with?
Pride.
Coming with pride. What else? What else? What else is he desiring? Pride. What else? Status.
Okay.
What else? What else? What else? A lot of our people have this spirit too. Envy. Power. He wants to be the front man. A lot of revolutions are kind of taking place during slavery was halted because of people like who? Like Korah. They wanted to be the man. They wanted to be Nat Turner. Even though they were not qualified to be the Nat Turner.
Right.
They wanted to be the Jean-Jacques Destiny, but they were not qualified to be Destiny. That spirit happened in the Maccabees as well. So let's read the scripture, Galatians 6:3.
The book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 3.
Let's stop until everybody get there. Everybody say come once you get there. Okay. Because that spirit teaches us, Korah teaches us something though. He teaches us what not to be.
That's right.
That's what he teaches us. Don't get me wrong. He's a powerful teacher. And what not to be.
Right.
Because that spirit of pride, both sides are not dealing with it.
That's right.
He ain't dealing with it. We're not dealing with it in here, Con. We're not dealing with that.
Galatians
Oh,
chapter 6,
63.
verse 3.
Let's go ahead and read it.
The book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 3. For if a man think himself to be something,
If a man think himself to be what?
to be something, when he is nothing,
When he is what?
when he is
When you
nothing,
nothing.
read, he deceiveth himself.
You're only deceiving yourself. You're only deceiving, you're only tricking yourself. Because pride, let's get started at 10 and 12 now. Because pride it leads you away from the Most High. When you're prideful, when you want power, when you want all these carnal things, it strays you away from the Most High. It strays you away from the Most High. Can't use you Because eventually, who are you going to be prideful against? The Most High. 10 and 12. Come.
The book of Sirach, chapter 10 and verse 12, page 76 in the Red Apocrypha.
Go ahead.
For Salakia. The beginning of pride,
Beginning of what?
the beginning of pride is when one departed from Yahweh.
So this brother Korah already departed from the Most High. The minute that pride came in. What happened with Cain? Cain got prideful. Right? He had that wicked spirit, man, in him. Eventually, what did it lead him to do? To murder his brother. That spirit of pride in brother Korah, the pride was already in him. Now the works is manifested. Because we know what James taught us. Sin begins where? It begins in the mind. And eventually, what follows? What follows it? The actions.
Right.
So he was already prideful in his mind. Now the actions are coming up. Read.
The beginning of pride is when one departed from Yahweh
Uh-huh.
and maketh his heart, Salakia, and his heart is turned away from his maker.
That his heart is turned away from his maker because he was there. Korah and his brothers was there when what happened in Egypt. They were there what Most High did in the wilderness. So that demonic spirit that hopped on his brothers, they already got the hold on them. And that should teach us not to let that spirit of pride get in us either. Because once that spirit of pride gets in, it makes you do foolish things like this brother's doing. Read.
For pride is the beginning of sin,
Uh-huh.
and he that hath it shall pour out abomination.
It should pour out things of no value. Read.
And therefore the other one brought upon them strange calamities.
Strange what?
Strange calamities.
Uh-huh.
And overthrew them utterly.
And overthrew them utterly. Because you don't need to be able, you don't have to esteem yourself. You don't have to boast yourself. Who should boast of you? Let's get Proverbs 27. We're gonna get the Most High too. Get Proverbs 27. That's the thing about it. You have some people that be like, yo, yeah, I did this, I did that. But it's not supposed to be coming from you. It don't mean nothing when it comes from you. It has no value. Let the Most High boast of you. Let the children of the Most High boast of your works. You understand? Because at the end of the day, who's gonna get the glory when they do it? The Most High. Because they're gonna boast like, damn, all praises to the Most High. Man, he put a spirit like that in him. Maybe he could put a spirit in that in me too. The Most High is the one that's gonna get the glory. Go ahead and read Proverbs 27, verse 1 and 2.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 27 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Boast not thyself of tomorrow.
What does the scripture say?
Boast not thyself of tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
For thou knowest not what a day may bring forth.
Read.
Let another man praise thee.
What does the scripture say?
Let another man praise thee.
Let another person boast of you. Don't boast of yourself, because when you boast of yourself, you end up looking what? You start looking prideful. And what is it really about? Is it about the Most High, or is it about you? Read.
And not thine own mouth.
And not that own who?
And not thine own
Man,
mouth.
don't let it come from your mouth, man. You will have brothers saying that, they feel like they're being unappreciated because they're not being boasted of. Now, what is it really about? Is it about the Most High, or is it about you? Because this is a spirit Korah have, that prideful spirit, that spirit of envy, that spirit of going to be the man. Also, you have some sisters like that too. They want to be the top sister.
Right.
The Most High is going to choose. And, when the Most High chooses, there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. Ain't nothing you're going to be able to do to overthrow. Then did Job have to boast of himself? No. Who was boasting about Job in chapter 1? The Most High. Most High was boasting about him so much, Satan wanted to see if he's really about what he's about.
Right.
That's how much the Most High boasted of Job. Job didn't boast of himself, man. Let's get Matthew 23 before we go right back. Matthew 23, verse 11.
Got something. Well, I was thinking about 1 Peter 5 and 6.
That's it. No, we're going to hold that.
You said Matthew 23 what?
23 and 11.
The book of Matthew, chapter 23, verse 11.
Read.
But he that is greatest among you.
Now, if you feel like you're that great for real, and I remember I brought this out when we went over the portion with the ranks and stuff. If you feel like you're so mighty, You're so wise, right? You're the most virtuous of virtuous sisters, right? Read.
But he that is greatest among you
Uh-huh.
shall be your servant.
Then you be the servant. You show everybody how to be like that. If you feel like you're so great. Read.
And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased.
If you exalt yourself, guess what? You're going to be abased. You're going to be abased. No, you're not going to be the top man. You're not going to be the top sister. You're going to be abased. Let's get Sirach 3:17. So like you. One more on that. Because if you feel like you're so wise, you should be the leader. You should be the one calling the shots. Guess what? You should be as meek then. You should be as humble then. You should be so willing, you're willing to show everybody else how to be like you then. How to be as meek, how to be as wise, how do you say it? Mighty with the scriptures. If you feel like that. Sirach 3 and start from verse 17.
The book of Sirach, chapter 3 and verse 17, page 72 in the Red Apocrypha. My son, go on with thy business in meekness.
In what?
In meekness.
In meekness, right?
So shalt thou be beloved of him that is approved.
Because Moses was beloved because of his what? His meekness, right?
The greater thou art,
The greater thou who?
the greater thou
The
art,
greater you think you are, the greater in status you are, financial gains, maybe scholastically, right?
the more humble thyself.
Guess what? You gotta be more humble. Because if you was that financially stable, that wise, that much scriptures, then you guess what? You should be able to help all the children of the Most High get to that point too. If you feel like that. Read.
And thou shalt find favor before the Most High.
And you will find favor in the Most High. If you're able to do that. Read.
Many are in high places and of renown. But mysteries,
But who? But the
mysteries
secrets, read.
are revealed unto the meek.
Read.
For the power of the Outer One is great, and he is
The
honored
Most High is respected by what?
of the lowly.
Of the lowly, of the meek. This was the same spirit Moses is moving in. That's why he was speaking to the Most High one-on-one. That's why the Most High chose him. That's why he was in charge right now. But this brother, he's contrary to all of that. Let's go right back to where he was at. In number 16. So right now we have the challenge about to go down. Moses, Team Moses versus Team Haitian. Who's gonna win?
The book of Numbers, chapter 16 and verse 6.
Read.
This do, take you censers, Korah, and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before the Outer One tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom the Most High doth choose, he shall be holy.
He should be what?
He shall be holy.
They gonna be the man. Read.
Ye take too much upon you.
And Moses replied to them what they said to him. Yo, y'all niggas doing too much, man. Y'all boys doing too much. Y'all butting it, like Captain Ahad said. Make it great, y'all butting it. Kids. That's what Moses replying to them. So the challenge is, everybody's gonna have their own censer. And when you burn that censer and the frankincense go up, the Most High is gonna do something to declare who's he with and who he is not with. That's the challenge. Let's continue.
Ye sons of Levi. And Moses said unto Korah, Hear, I pray you, ye sons of Levi, seemeth it but a small thing unto you that the power of Israel had separated you from the congregation of Israel to bring you near to himself to do the service of the tabernacle of the Most High, and to stand before the congregation to minister unto them.
So Moses said, listen, I got another thing I gotta say to y'all. Did y'all really find it so irrelevant, so useless that the Most High out of all 12 tribes chose your tribe and chose you to handle the ark, handle the candle, handle the altars, handle the menorah? Was that so irrelevant? That's why you're doing this? That's what he's asking them. Because right now, he's still in a high position. Ain't nobody could touch that menorah but this family. Nobody could be inside that tabernacle like how these brothers could be towards it. Nobody out of Reuben, Gad, none of these other tribes is as close as this tribe is close to the Most High. It's like, what else do you want? It's like you have all the money in the world, but you still desire more. What else can you want? Read.
And he hath brought thee near to him, and all thy brethren, the sons of Levi with thee.
Mm-hmm.
And seek ye the priesthood also?
And seek ye also the what?
And seek ye the priesthood also?
Because this is what it's about. You see, is Moses in the priesthood? Moses is in the priesthood? That's a trick question. Is Moses a priest?
No.
It's Aaron.
It's Aaron and his children.
Right.
So what is he really fighting for? Korah's fighting for. He wants to be the priest.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to be the man, do the sacrifices and stuff. But let's see what Most High said about Aaron. Let's go back to Sirach 45. We're going to continue where we left off at. Let's see what he said about Aaron. Because Aaron went off too, twice. So I remember it. But Aaron was not like these brothers though. Because at the end of the day, who did the Most High choose to be the first high priest of Israel and his descendants? Aaron. So that still says a lot about Aaron, the high priest.
You know, the first time Aaron went off, he was kind of by himself because Moses was in the mountain. So Aaron, he really had nobody to back him up. You know what I'm saying? And you know how Israel can get, man. Israel know how to threaten people, boy. So you can just imagine what they must have been saying to him to make him go and make that golden calf.
I want you to start from verse 6.
Come, the book of Sirach, chapter 45, and verse 6, page 98 in the Red Apocrypha. He exalted Aaron.
He exalted who?
He exalted Aaron,
Read.
and holy man like unto him.
So Aaron was just like his brother, holy. Read.
Even his brother of the tribe of Levi.
Uh-huh.
An everlasting covenant he made with him,
Mm-hmm.
and gave him the
So we
priesthood,
get Korah, the priesthood.
and gave him the priesthood
Uh-huh.
among the people.
Because Korah was there. Korah was in Egypt. The Most High God told Moses, go to Korah and get him and you go deal with Pharaoh. He could have told him that. He could have told him to go get Dathan, go get Abiram. He could have told him to go get anybody else, but he chose who? Aaron. Read.
He beautified him, Salaki. He beautified him with comely ornaments, and clothed him with a robe of glory.
Jump down to verse 15.
Verse 15. Moses consecrated him and anointed him with holy oil.
Mm-hmm.
This was appointed unto him by an everlasting covenant, and to his seed, so long as the heavens should remain,
Mm-hmm.
that they should minister unto him, and execute the office of the priesthood, and bless the people in his name.
So is the heavens still remaining? Con. Was the heavens remaining in that time? Con. So whose lineage is supposed to be the priest? It's supposed to be the priesthood. Aaron's. The Most High already explained it. Everybody understands this during this time. So let's go right back to number 16.
The book of Numbers, chapter 16 and verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
For which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against the Most High. And what is Aaron, that ye murmur against him?
He said, who the hell is Aaron that you murmuring against? Because who are they really murmuring against? The Most High.
Right,
Who did the choosing? The Most High God.
right.
We're going to get into that a little bit later. Let's continue reading.
And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of which said, we will not come up.
We'll stay right here.
Is it a small thing that has brought us out that flow with you to put us in wilderness, except our made as on a prince over us?
They're saying, listen, you must have a great America slave, right? The jerk man.
Right. It's like what the people wants to do. Go take the land. Verse 8. Now, tomorrow, censored. Every people of the Moab censored 250 censers.
Mm-hmm.
Thou also and Aaron, each of you is censored.
Mm-hmm.
And they took every man his censer and put fire in them, and laid incense thereon, and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses and Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle.
What's Korah going to do? Who's supposed to go up? What was Moses' instruction for this challenge? Korah, Dathan, and Abiram, and the 250 was supposed to go up with their censers. What did Korah go do? He wanted to go get, he made it a whole spectacle.
Right.
He wanted everybody to see it. Because so he could prove that he's the man.
Right.
That's what he wanted to go do. Let's get Psalms 75, verse 5 to 7 real quick. That's what shows you what this is all about. It's all about pride. That's what this is all about. This is all about power. And that's always been a killer with our people. Pride, power, money, status. Sometimes even women, they were Saul when he got his feelings. When the sisters were doing that R&B track for David.
Right.
When he came in. Right?
The book of Psalms, chapter 75, verse 5.
Uh-huh.
Lift not up your horn on high.
The most I said, don't lift up your horn on high, read.
Speak not with a stiff neck.
Uh-huh.
For promotion
For
cometh.
what?
For promotion.
For who?
Promotion
For promotion cometh where?
cometh neither from the east, nor from the
It
west,
don't come from east to the west and the ends of the earth, but where?
nor from the south,
Read.
but Yahweh is the judge.
But the Most High is the one who's going to judge it. For example, we had a promotion, one of the last promotions we had, right? With our mighty captain, Azariah Paul.
Mm-hmm.
He had no knowledge he was going to be promoted,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't think anybody knew until I think I told you the day of, right? Nobody knew that was going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody in the camp, none of the eldership knew, but Chief Minister, and then he told Priest on. But it happened out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because the Most High wanted that to happen. When it's your time, trust me, the Most High gonna raise you up in that time. That goes for men and women. When it's time for you to step up and be in that position to do something, the Most High gonna put you in that position. Another powerful example, because you've been here for a while, in those times, in those councils, and you have. How long have we been debating for a sisterhood class?
It's just like up there.
2016. You remember when I used to be in council? Like, yeah, the sisters need a class. You remember that council? I used to be the sisters. How long did it take until? When did you start doing it?
beginning of 2020.
2020. So it took about 4 years of it being brought up, right? And all, not taking away from the sisters that's there, but all the sisters that was there that could have done it, the Most High didn't want them to do it, because at the end of the day, the Most High chooses. But when it came to that 4th year, the beginning of that 4th year, the Most High chose young sisters that was going to do it. And now it's being what? It's being done. And it's being done properly. I'm pretty sure there's no gossip being done. None of that. Because prior, it got canceled before because of gossip. Now, the way the Most High needs it to be done, it's being done. So when promotion comes, when it's time for you to be exalted, you're not going to know when it's going to come. I'm pretty sure you probably didn't know that. Right? Now you know. Right. The Most High will do these things and put people in a position to get His will done. And when He puts you in that position, don't mess it up. Because the Most High, just like how He didn't use them, He could just put you away and use somebody else. Let's continue reading.
The book of Numbers, chapter 16, and verse.
You finished Psalms?
Yeah, well,
Let's get Daniel 2 and 20.
Daniel 2 and 20.
Come, get Daniel 2 and 20. The Most High will do that, man. And it's powerful how the Most High do it, because if it was up to us to choose our leaders, we'll choose a leader that's comfortable. We'll choose a leader that lets you show up late for Sabbath, that'll let you miss Pentecost, that'll let you break the commandments of the Most High, that give you that feel good of feeling. When we choose our leaders, we get pastors, we get bishops that sleep with our women, we get these presidents that continue allowing our people to get gunned down in the streets like dogs. Those are the leaders we choose. Go ahead and read that.
The book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 20. Daniel answered and said, Blessed be the name of Yahweh forever and ever. For wisdom and might are His. And he changed the times and the seasons. He removed kings. He removed kings
The Most High remove kings. He'll remove leaders. Read.
and set it up kings.
And he'll set you up. Read.
He giveth wisdom unto the wise
He giveth wisdom unto the wise. Read.
and knowledge to them that know understanding.
That no understanding. So the Most High is the one that chooses, and he's going to give you that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You understand? The Most High is the one who chooses at the end of the day. So believe it or not, the Most High will put a bad leader in a position to teach us a lesson too. Because who did he put over us? He put Esau to teach us a lesson.
Right.
Most High could put somebody you thinking that he's going to be like the man, and this is to chastise the whole congregation.
Right.
The Most High could do that too. Get Jeremy chapter 4 and 17. The Most High will do that too. When we understand these scriptures, then we can be more circumspect when the Most High is doing something around us. And we understand more. Why do you think a lot of times when our forefathers, it's crazy, I just started reading Tobit recently. Rereading Tobit recently. Tobit, during his situation in Nineveh, he was able to see the situation and reference what the Most High told Amos. That's how our ancestors moved. Certain things was going on, we were circumspect. Oh, this is what Jeremiah was talking about. This is what this prophet was talking about. This is it right here. That's how in tune with the Most High we was. Now we're not in tune with the Most High. Go ahead.
The book of Daniel, chapter 4 and verse 17.
Read.
This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men.
So he could do that too. He could set up the wise, and he could set up a base person to chastise. Go ahead, Cap. Yeah, you hot fire right now.
I was thinking Sirach 10, verse 1 through 5.
Cut it. That's the scripture.
Yeah.
It's all right, 10 verse 1 to 5. A lot of information in this portion, man. This portion is to be like a reflection, man. Are you moving in the spirit of Korah? Are you moving in the spirit of Dathan and Abiram? You gotta reflect, man.
The book of Sirach, chapter 10 and verse 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered.
Mm-hmm.
As the judge of the people is himself,
As that leader is real.
so are his officers.
So if you have a righteous leader, the people is gonna have no choice but to be what? Righteous, so you're gonna have to go.
Mm-hmm.
But if the leader is wicked, what's gonna happen with the people? What's gonna happen to the people with the people?
Pretty much fall apart.
They're gonna fall apart. It's gonna be chaos.
Yeah.
It's gonna be anarchy.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
And what manner of man the ruler of the city is,
Mm-hmm.
such are all they that dwell therein.
So the people is a reflection of who's above them.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
An unwise king destroyeth his people,
Mm-hmm.
but through the prudence of them which are in authority,
Uh-huh.
the city shall be inhabited.
Right. So depending on what type of leader that you have, man,
Mm-hmm.
it can either lift up the people
Right.
or it can destroy the people. But at the end of the day, it's for the Most High to choose.
Mm-hmm.
Is he gonna choose somebody that's gonna help us, or is he gonna choose somebody that be a thorn on our side?
Right.
Because why did we choose Saul? Why did we choose Saul? Why was Saul chosen? Why was Saul chosen? Out of our lust.
Yeah.
We were supposed to be ruled by the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the things that the people said about Saul, I want you to get that. Let's get 2 Samuel chapter 9, verse 1 and 2. One thing that the people know, they didn't say Saul was a wise or super righteous brother. I don't remember that in the scriptures. It said that about Saul. And it didn't say he was somebody who fought for the meek and delivered the fatherless. It didn't say that about Saul. I don't remember that in the scriptures. It said that about Saul. But let me show you something he did point out about him. And this is how a lot of times how we choose our leaders. Read.
The book of 2 Samuel, chapter 9 and verse 1.
Read.
And David said, is there yet any that is left?
1 Samuel 9, verse 1 to 2. Like 1 Samuel.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 9, verse 1. Now there was a man of Benjamin, whose name was Kish, the son of Abiel,
Right.
the son of Zeror,
Read.
the son of Bechorath, the son of Benjamin,
Right.
a mighty and his son, and Saul, a choice and goodly.
What good do you think you're talking about? For the law is good? Is that the good that you're talking about? What good are you talking about? This is the who
And there was not a good
I know the way I say it. I know we have a way to say it. We meant to say it. You know, he's fine. That's what the sister was saying about Saul. But nowhere did it say he was wise, he was righteous, super righteous. None of that. It didn't say that. Read.
from his shoulders and upward,
Uh-huh.
he was higher than any of the people.
So what did that say? You got a face-type card. He got a tall man card. So this brother probably a 6'3", 6'4" brother. And you know he got a beard.
Verse 3.
That's it. So this is what he shows. What was even though he was like fine, right? Instead of just facing the east and praying. That didn't help him in that day.
Now we understand why he was so mad when they made that song for David.
Because
he never felt that before. You never been in number two. You never been in number two, man. He was always the first, man. That would make sense. That's crazy.
David, a light-skinned brother, like my captain here, like the scripture say, ruddy, right? Goodly man.
Dang.
That's when light-skinned brothers was in during that time in Israel. You know? They were in during that time. Really?
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 16, verse 7.
Uh-huh.
But the Most High said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance,
Look not at his countenance. He didn't say wisdom. He pointed that out again. Really?
or on the height of his stature,
Uh-huh.
because I have refused him.
Because the Most High rejected him. Read.
And the Most High seeth not as man seeth.
You don't do it what?
The Most High seeth not as man seeth.
Uh-huh.
For man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Most High looketh on the heart.
The Most High look at your character.
Kept on our nose. We was making a note about where we choose our leader based on the outward appearance. Even with the prophecy of the Messiah in Isaiah 53.
Yeah, we want to go there right now.
Okay.
We moving in the same spirit. My mind will be. Right? So we see that didn't even save him at the end of the day. So when we choose people to follow, it can't be somebody because they're dark skinned, light skinned, or you see a sister just because she look good, she's righteous. That shouldn't define their character and relationship with the Most High. It's their works that should reflect. It's their obedience to the Most High. That's what should stand out. You understand what I'm saying? Let's get Isaiah 53. Because like the Captain Zion was bringing out, look at Yahushua. Yahushua was not like David. No. It didn't say he was going to be ready. Scripture say he had burned as if he was in a furnace. A lot of us dark-skinned brothers, we're not in right now. That's why I said when Yahushua's on the throne, we will be in. It will be dark-skinned season. We going to be in in that day. But right now, we got to suffer it, though. We in the light-skinned captivity. Oh, my God. We got to suffer it. But Yahushua, he wasn't a five-star brother. He wasn't a brother everybody look at, yeah, he's fine. Nobody said it about him in the gospel. This is what the scripture said about him. Read. 50, start from verse 1.
Okay, come. The book of Isaiah, chapter 50, verse 1.
53 verse 1.
Yeah, come.
Okay, go ahead.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 53, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Who hath believed our report?
Uh-huh.
And to whom is the arm of the Most High revealed?
Uh-huh.
For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant,
He's going to grow up as a tender plant, right? Read.
and as a root out of a dry ground.
So when it says a root out of dry ground, he's going to grow up in the hoods. That means he's not going to have status and money. He's going to be on the EBT. There's going to be roaches in his crib. There's going to be bad. The AC not working in his house. Because Yahushua had to grow up that way so we could understand. So he could understand how we grew up. A lot of us grew up that way. So he wasn't financially on point. Read.
He hath no form nor comeliness.
So he had no what?
No form
That
nor
means he
comeliness.
didn't have abs. Sisters wasn't rubbing his abs to get blessings. He wasn't a 5-star brother. He wasn't like Aegis Elba. He wasn't no Chris Brown. He wasn't no Usher. He was someone like, oh, shalom. And you give him that, you know, Scout sisters do it. Quiet shalom.
Right.
And he keep pushing. Right? Not the shalom, brother. It wasn't like that. It was a silent shalom. But continue reading.
And when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him.
There was nothing about him that stood out like, damn, that's my leader. Yeah, I'm about to sit down and shut back up. He didn't give off that feeling, that spirit. Read.
He is despised and rejected of men.
He was what?
He is despised and rejected of men.
This man was not beautiful. He was not somebody who desired. He didn't have no abs or none of that. He was hated by people. Read.
A man of sorrows.
He was a man with problems. Read.
And acquainted with grief.
And he had a lot of griefs. But though he had all these things, because realistically, if you didn't know the scriptures, would you ever choose somebody to be your leader like that? Realistically, if you didn't understand the Bible, would you choose somebody like that to be over you? I'm be real with you, I wouldn't. I might be choosing somebody like Saul. And then this nigga tall, damn, you got the girl, she don't follow him, I might get some shorties too. Realistically, with a carnal mind. But let's see something that stood out about Yahushua. Let's get Isaiah 11, start from verse 1. Because even though outwardly, he didn't have it, right? But let's see something inwardly that he was going to come with. That's why the Most High was going to have him reign over the children of Israel forever. Because of what's in him. That's what made these apostles follow. They hear how he moved. They see the things that he talked about and how he operated. That's what convicted them to follow him, man. That's what convicted a lot of people to believe in him. Because of his character, his meekness. Let's get Isaiah 11. Start verse 1.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 1.
Read.
And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse,
A descendant that come out of this man Jesse from the tribe of Judah. Read.
and a branch shall grow out of his roots.
Mm-hmm.
And the Spirit of the Most High.
That's what set him apart. The Spirit of who?
And the Spirit of the Most
The
High
Spirit of the Most High, read.
shall rest upon him.
Shall rest upon him. That's what set him apart. It's the Spirit of the Most High. What set Moses apart from Korah? The Spirit of the Most High. What set us apart from the people in the world? The Spirit of the Most High. Read.
The Spirit of wisdom and
Spirit
understanding.
of what?
Wisdom and understanding.
The proper application of the law. The Spirit to understand things. Read.
The Spirit of counsel.
The Spirit of what?
Counsel.
He was able to give you proper instruction. How to fix your problems. Read.
And might.
And what?
And might.
And might. Read.
The Spirit of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And of the fear of the Lord.
And the fear of the Most High. Read.
And shall make him of quick understanding.
So he's going to have all these spirits. This is the Spirit of the Most High. And it's going to be quick. It's going to be something like second nature to him. Read.
And shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the other one.
Read.
And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes,
Mm-hmm.
neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness
Mm-hmm.
shall he judge the poor.
So stop. So this is what we hear about this person's character. Even though he didn't have the physical, man, he outproduces in the spiritual. Mm-hmm. Let's get Luke 1 and 32, verse 32. I'm going to go right back and finish chapter 16 now. So we see Saul was like fine, but he was rejected. Yahushua was not fine, but he had all this spirit in him. But he was chosen to reign over children of Israel. He's the person that when you do something wrong and you're scared to talk to the Most High, you tell them Yahushua to go talk to him for you. That's the type of authority the Most High put in Yahushua. Let's go ahead and read.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 32.
Chapter 1, verse 30.
So like it, chapter 1, verse 30.
Uh-huh.
And the angel said unto her, Fear not, Mary,
Mhm.
for thou hast found favor with the Most High. And behold, thou shalt conceive in thy womb, and bring forth a son, and his name, and shall call his name Yahweh Shai.
Uh-huh.
He shall be great, and shall be called the Son of the Highest.
Uh-huh.
And the other one power shall give unto him
What is going to give unto him?
the throne of his father David.
So he's going to run out and receive that throne. Solomon received punishment. Rehoboam received punishment. A lot of the kings of Judah received punishment. A lot of the majority of the kings of northern kingdom received punishment. But him, the Most High will give that throne to him.
Read. And he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever.
No, until he go off.
Forever.
Until he gets seduced by women.
Forever.
Read.
And of his kingdom there shall be no end.
So this man, he's going to receive that kingdom. Though he didn't have all these physical attributes that attracted people. But he had the spiritual. He had the thing that was most important. That spirit in Isaiah 11. That spirit Moses had. Let's go right back to where he was at in number 16. We did say the portion will be very interesting. But I say it's going to be very interesting. Remember, there's going to be a lot of scriptures being thrown out. Number 16.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 16 and verse 20. And the Most High spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, Separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them.
That mean what?
Consume them.
So they thinking the Most High is about to choose them. Most of them about to kill themselves. That's what's going to happen. Ain't going to be no reward. Somebody going to die. Read.
That I may consume them in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And they fell upon their faces and said, O Most High, the power of the spirits of all flesh. Shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation?
Mm-hmm.
And the Most High spake unto Moses.
So why do you think the Most High is about to kill the whole congregation too?
Yeah, accomplice.
You said it?
Accomplice.
It's an accomplice. This should remind us something. If you love your brother, what you got to do? What the congregation should give a Korah in these 250?
What else is correct?
They should put these guys in war to see what the Most High want to do with these guys.
Right.
That's what they should have done. The same treatment they gave that Egyptian child is what they should have did with these individuals. The law even tells us not to follow a multitude to do evil.
Yeah, right.
Even that's an Exodus. They already understand this.
Right.
Leviticus 19, they understand this. Thou shalt not revile the gods. Moses is the ruler of the people.
That's right.
Or curse the ruler of the people.
That's right.
They already got this instruction.
It's just like in the world, in the justice system, when someone goes and commits a murder, if you're the person who's driving the getaway car,
Yeah.
you're getting charged for murder too.
Right, you're an accomplice to the crime.
Yeah.
It's about association.
Right.
Yeah.
So everybody's an accomplice to this right now. Because if they're not rebuking them, that means they're down with the program.
Right.
You know Israel want to see. They wanted to see it, right? This was like Tyson versus Holyfield. They wanted to see this go down.
Yeah.
The book of Numbers, chapter 16 and verse 23. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the congregation, saying, Get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan, and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, Depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sins. So they got up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram on every side. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives,
And they're who?
and their wives.
So this teaches us the importance of a righteous woman. Now, if this woman was righteous, what they should have done? Like, you're the one that's married back so far. If you see Captain Ahud going to the strip club instead of coming to the portion, what are you supposed to do?
Telling people enough, but if you don't listen, you gotta tell somebody else.
That's right. You gotta call us up. That's what you gotta do. If you don't do anything, what does that show?
That I'm right with him.
You right with him with what he's doing. I mean, you're down with the program and what he's doing. So these sisters, they're off as hell. The children ain't rebuke these brothers. or even go tell the proper people to go rebuke them. Read.
Verse 27. So they got up from their tent, from the tabernacle of Korah, the Dathan and Abiram on every side. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives, and their sons, and their little children. And Moses said, Hereby ye shall know that the Most High hath sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of my own mind.
So he's saying, listen, if you, well, actually, let's continue a little bit more. Let's continue a little bit more.
If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Most High hath not sent me.
So he said, listen, if you let these guys die in their sleep, or let them die at an old age, you just let them slide, like, or just kill them like an average death. They don't think that you're not with me, right? They don't think you're not involved with what's going on.
Read. If these, Salakia, verse 30. But if the Most High make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth, and swallow them up with all that appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Most High.
So Moses already knows there'll still be the result for this battle already. That's why he's saying it. Imagine, you got to think about how Moses is saying, you know, Most High, if you kill them, nobody's going to know that you're with you. But if you send a hurricane of sharks, that's how he's saying it. Because he wants the idea of the Most High. If you sink them in the earth, you know, that's how he's telling the Most High.
And it came to pass, as he hath made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up.
And did what?
And swallowed them up.
Like quicksand, like probably the ground caved in and took them in, right?
And their houses, and all the men that appertained unto Korah, and all their goods, they and all that appertained to them, went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation.
So they died alive, suffocation. That's crazy. Read.
And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them, for they said, Lest the earth swallow us up also. And there came out a fire from the Lord, and consumed the 250 men that offered incense.
So what was declared right here? Like the Most High was with who? He was with Moses. Because these 250, they're not going to get it easy. Right. What happened to the spies that went and gave the evil report? They died with the plague. Only Joshua and Caleb was allowed to live.
Right.
The Most High is not going to let you slide if you're an accomplice to crime. If you're an accomplice to crime, you will be judged by the Most High.
Read. Verse 33. They that all pertained to them went down a lot. Verse 35. And there came out a fire from the Most High and consumed the 250 men that offered incense. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, that he take up the censers out of the burning, and scatter thou the fire yonder, for they are hollow. The censers of these sinners against their own souls. Let them make them broad plates for before the Most High, for a covering of the altar. For they offered them before the Most High, therefore they are hollow. And they shall be a sign unto the children of Israel.
So these censers are going to be beat down and smushed into like a plate. And they're going to be used to help us remember what happens when you go against the whoever the Most High is dealing with. Right. That's what the purpose of that. Read.
And Eleazar, the priest, took the brazen censers wherewith they that were burnt had offered, and they were made broad plates for a covering of the altar, to be a memorial unto the children of Israel, that no stranger, which is not of the seed of Aaron, come near to offer incense before the Most High, that he be not as Korah and as his company, as the Most High said to him by the hand of Moses.
So what was the purpose to have that? What was the purpose for those broad plates?
A memorial.
A memorial for what? You just said it.
For crossing the Most High.
For crossing the Most High. And also to show that only the seed of Aaron is supposed to go offer for the Most High. That's the purpose. That's supposed to be like a red flag, red lights. If you're not from that image, you're not supposed to be doing that. Read.
But on the morrow, all the congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, saying, Ye have killed the people of the Lord.
So who really killed the people of the Most High? The Most High. So this shows you the spirit that they're already in. They wanted Moses to lose this battle. They wanted Aaron to be overthrown. Read.
And it came to pass, when the congregation was gathered against Moses and against Aaron, that they looked toward the tabernacle of the congregation. And behold, the cloud covered it, and the glory of the Most High appeared. And Moses and Aaron came before the tabernacle of the congregation. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Get you up from among this congregation,
Get away from them, read.
that I may consume them as in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And they fell upon their faces. And Moses said unto Aaron, Take a censer, and put fire therein from off the altar, and put on incense, and go quickly unto the congregation, and make an atonement for them. For there is wrath gone out from the Most High, the plague is begun.
So he told him, go get the censer, and man, listen, go get an atonement for the people. Because whatever the Most High is about to do is happening right now. Go. You know how they have like the fire extinguisher in the lab? You know, Aaron got his censer, you gotta break it and go atone for the people. That's why whenever there's madness at the camp, we always tell the Levi brother, yo, burn that censer, get the spirits are loose right now. So to appease them spirits. Read.
And Aaron took as Moses commanded, and ran into the midst of the congregation. And behold, the plague was begun among the people. And he put on incense, and made an atonement for the people. And he stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stayed. Now, they that died in the plague were 14,700, beside them that died about the matter of Korah. And Aaron returned unto Moses and unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the plague was stayed.
The book of Numbers, chapter 17, and verse 1.
Read.
And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and take every one of them a rod according to the house of their fathers.
Right.
Of all their princes according to the house of their fathers, 12 rods. Write thou every man's name upon his rod. And thou shalt write Aaron's name upon the rod of Levi.
Right.
For one rod shall be for the head of the house of their fathers. And thou shalt lay them up in the tabernacle of the congregation before the testimony, where I will meet with you.
Right. So now we just dealt with Korah, Dathan, Abian, right, and the 250 men. But the congregation now they want to murmur against Moses. So now the Most High has to show the congregation who's in charge. They should already have known from what just happened, but now the congregation want to speak against Moses, because we got to understand something. A rod in the scriptures is used to symbolize two things mostly: authority and correction. And we're gonna go back. Let's go back to Isaiah chapter 11, just to see how the Most High, how the scriptures use a rod to can be used for to show authority or correction. So we got to understand what all is taking place, because the Most High is going to show at the end of the day who has the authority of the priesthood, right? Who is over the people. That's what the Most High is going to show. Read that.
Book of Isaiah 11:1, right?
Yep.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 1. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him.
It's a what?
Upon him.
Right? So it said a rod, right, should come forth. So now, what does Yahweh Shai have over the nation of Israel? He has authority, right? That authority is going to come out of the loins of Jesse, right, of the tribe of Judah. So we see right there, that's authority. Now drop down to verse 4.
Verse 4. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor,
right,
and reprove the equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth.
With the what?
With the rod of his mouth.
With the correction, man. what he's gonna speak, the rebuke. He's gonna smite the world with this, man. So we see right here, the rod symbolizes authority and or correction. So let's keep that in mind as we continue the numbers. All right. Read. Verse 5.
Verse 5.
Uh-huh.
And it shall come to pass that the man's rod whom I shall choose shall blossom.
All right.
And I will make to cease from me the murmurings of the children of Israel,
Uh-huh.
whereby they murmur against you.
All right, so the Most High says, listen, I'm going to make it plain, simple, and clear that I do the choosing.
Right.
I'm the one who puts whoever in their office, right, in their stewardship. And they're going to know that whenever they murmur against you, they murmur against me. It's no more, oh, we thought we were murmuring against Moses. Oh, Most High, Salakio, we were just speaking against Moses. No. Everybody's going to know whenever you murmur against Moses or Aaron, you are murmuring against me. Because when the Most High say he's going to cause it to cease, of course we continue to murmur. But the murmurings are no more going to be excusable at all for no type of reason. So they're going to cease. This is like when your parents say, I don't want to hear it no more. You can keep talking, but they don't want to hear it no more.
Right.
They already said what they said, right? It's no more dealing with your murmurings, man. Read.
And Moses spake unto the children of Israel,
Uh-huh.
and every one of their princes gave him a rod apiece.
Right.
For each prince one according to their fathers' houses,
Uh-huh.
even 12 rods.
Uh-huh.
And the rod of Aaron was among their rods.
Right.
And Moses laid up the rods before the Most High in the tabernacle with a witness.
Read.
And it came to pass that on the morrow Moses went into the tabernacle and witnessed, and behold, the rod of Aaron for the house of Levi was budded,
Uh-huh.
and brought forth buds,
Right.
and bloomed blossoms,
Uh-huh.
and yielded almonds.
So this was an undeniable work of the Most High. Because once you cut a branch off from the roots, it's dead. It can't blossom, and I got almonds coming out on top of flowers. All this that thing probably look good, right? Somebody probably wanted to take it back to their house or something like that, man. It was a nice work, a piece of art. But the Most High said, listen, at the end of the day, once again, I'm showing y'all who I'm rocking with. Because this is to the congregation at this point. Read.
And Moses brought out all the rods from before the Most High
Uh-huh.
unto all the children of Israel.
Right.
And they looked and took every man his rod.
Read.
And Yahweh said unto Moses, bring Aaron's rod again
Right.
before the testimony,
Uh-huh.
to be kept for a token against the rebels.
What is it kept for?
Against the rebels.
Read.
And thou shalt quite take away their murmurings from me,
Uh-huh.
that they die not.
So what happens is Aaron's rod was placed in the Ark of the Covenant. Now, the Ark of the Covenant holds 3 items: the 10 Commandments, the manna, and now Aaron's rod. And when we look at what those 3 things can symbolize, is we see the Most High deals with justice, he deals with equity, which means the fairness treatment of all the children of Israel, and he deals with judgment. That rod, as we can see here, is what? The Most High called it a token against the rebels, to show that judgment, right? The Most High deals with that. The justice would be the 10 Commandments. That's how the Most High wanted us to live. And the manna is a what? Representation of the compassion and the care that the Most High had for his children in the wilderness, a place of barrenness. Give me Psalms chapter 89, verse 14. That is the essence of the covenant of the Most High. The Most High wants us to deal with compassion, justice, and judgment, man. Speak out and punish the wrong things, practice the right things, and always have compassion and love towards your neighbor, man. Read that. Psalms 89, verse 14.
The book of Psalms, chapter 89, verse 14.
Read.
Justice and judgment are the habitation of thy throne.
Say it again.
Justice and judgment are the habitation of thy throne.
Right? It says justice and judgment are in the habitation of thy throne. The Most High deals with that, man. The Most High is not going to ever cast away his law, because that's casting away judgment. The Most High is never going to allow a sin to just go fully unpunished, because that's not dealing with judgment. There's always going to have to be some type of repercussion, man. Give me Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 3. Give me Proverbs 21 and verse 3. That's the 3 things that we need to harp on, man. We need to understand justice. That's a big thing with the Most High. Judgment, that's a big thing with the Most High. Compassion, that's a big thing with the Most High, man. These things lie within the Ark of the Covenant that we have with our power. Read.
The book of Proverbs,
Uh-huh.
chapter 21, verse 3.
Read.
To do justice and judgment
Uh-huh.
is more acceptable to the Most High than sacrifice.
The Most High rather see you keep the commandments of the Most High, rebuke your neighbor, than you to do something off and then say Salakia, my bad. Because the Most High wants to see the integrity of his people, man, the meekness of his people. So all of these things should be a reminder, a memorial unto us as to how the Most High wants us to deal, man. The essence, the mannerism that we should have. Last scripture, give me 1 Kings chapter 10 and verse 9. Let's see why the Most High set up David, man. Made a covenant with David. Right? Let's see what David was going to perform as king. The book of 1 Kings, chapter 10, verse 9. Blessed be Yahweh, thy power, right, which delighted in thee to set thee on the throne of Israel. Because Yahweh loved Israel forever. Because what? Yahweh loved Israel forever. So because the Most High loved the nation of Israel so much, read. Therefore made he the king to do what? To do judgment and justice. Right. That's how the Most High shows his love to the nation of Israel too, man. Setting up a ruler who's going to do justice and judgment, man. Who's going to enforce the laws of the Most High and enforce the punishments that come with them. Because that's how you keep things in order. If you could just break the rules and never suffer any repercussions, then you're just going to keep doing it, man. Right? I know when we was kids, there was a little pool in our community, all bunch of signs. Don't be in the pool after this time. Don't jump the gate. You think we care? Right? We didn't care nothing about that until the police started to pull up on us. And then all you see is a whole bunch of Israelites getting up out of the pool, man. Right? Just everybody just running. Then we started to listen. Then we was like, nah, man, let's not jump the gate. I ain't trying to deal with the police today. Right. But before then, we were just continuing breaking the rules. So with the Most High, it's the same way, man. The Most High wants us to continue to have judgment, man. The Most High is gonna punish that sin. He's gonna punish that pride and that envy and those wrongful spirits that you have upon you, man. Let's go back to Numbers. Verse 11.
Verse 11. And Moses did so as Yahweh commanded him, so did he.
Right.
And the children of Israel spake unto Moses, saying, Behold, we die, we perish, we all perish.
What?
We all perish.
Really?
Whosoever cometh anything near unto the tabernacle of the Lord shall die. Shall we be consumed with dying?
Right. So now they're concerned. They're like, damn, we messed up. Right? We done got put to the test. We seen what happened when the last brothers lost the test. Or is it going to happen to us also? But Moses is always making intercession for the children of Israel, man. That's why we really have to understand that's a next level of patience, man.
Yeah.
Right? That's probably a level that we'll never obtain in this life, because little things get us bored over, man. Little things get us bored over. But Moses had to deal with this for years and years, man, and had to continue with it because what? It was a charge of the Most High. Read
the book of Numbers, chapter 18. And Yahweh said unto Aaron,
right,
thou and thy sons and thy father's house with thee shall bear the iniquity of the sanctuary. And thou and thy sons with thee shall bear the iniquity of your priesthood.
So now it's established. Aaron and his sons are the priests. There's no more debate. Nobody else is getting this office. Nobody else is getting this charge. It is Aaron and his sons. Now, yes, Aaron has the authority. But we all understand that with authority comes responsibility and accountability. Now, oftentimes we get those two confused. But responsibility means you have an obligation to do the task. Accountability means you have to answer for the outcome of that. So although Aaron was doing the priesthood, Aaron could have took the offering, but what if he did the offering wrong, right? He has to be held accountable for that. Yes, he was responsible enough to take the offering from the people, but the way that he did the offering, the outcome of how everything went down, he didn't have the mindset of it. Right. So now we have to understand that the Most High deals with the nation the same way. So let's go over some scriptures that will show our authority, our responsibility, and then our accountability. Let me get Deuteronomy.
Let me read it in the NLT for you.
Okay,
it'll make more sense because it's going to say iniquity.
Come.
In the NLT, verse 1, right. Numbers 18. Then Yahweh said to Aaron, you, your sons, and your relatives from the tribe of Levi will be held responsible for any offenses related to the sanctuary.
Right.
But you and your sons alone will be held responsible for violations connected with the priesthood.
Right. So there you go. So now anything that went wrong with the services that are within the priesthood, y'all gotta answer for that, man. Anything crazy going on with the tabernacle, y'all gotta answer for that. So now let's see how the Most High deals with that same concept, but with the nation. Give me Deuteronomy 7:6. It's a classic scripture that we always go through, but we have to understand that the Most High is telling us that we have authority in this earth, man. Right? We have authority in this earth. We have rulership in this earth. But let's see why is it that we don't experience that rulership or that authority right now. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6.
Read.
For thou art a holy people unto Yahweh, thy power. The Most High thy power has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Right.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Above who?
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So when you're above all people, what? You're in a place of authority. Correct? So the nation of Israel itself is in a place of a position of authority. Now, that's right. That's us having our authority. Now let's see our responsibility. Give me Deuteronomy 10 and 12. All right. Let's see our responsibilities.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10 and verse 12.
All right, this is our obligation. Read.
And now, Israel, what doeth Yahweh thy power require of thee?
Read.
But to fear Yahweh thy power, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve Yahweh thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
Read.
To keep the commandments of Yahweh and his statutes which I command thee this day for thy good.
Right. So our responsibility is to love the Most High, walk in his ways, keep the commandments, keep his statutes. Right. That's our responsibility. We are obligated to perform these tasks. Now let's see our accountability. Give me Deuteronomy 28 verse 1. All right. Because now the accountability is what? You taking ownership of what the outcome is. How do we take ownership of what the outcome is as an Israelite? Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1.
Read.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that Yahweh thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Read.
And all these blessings.
All these what?
All these blessings.
Right, that's the outcome. So if we listen diligently, the outcome would be blessings. Keep reading.
Shall come on thee and overtake thee.
Right.
If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power.
Right. Now give me verse 15.
Verse 15.
Read.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
all these what?
All these curses
Read.
should come upon thee and overtake thee.
So now we see to take ownership, right, of the outcome of these things is what? One is being obedient, listening unto the Most High. The other is being disobedient and not listening unto the Most High. So we see our authority is given what? Being the nation that's above every other nation. Our obligation, our requirements to love the Most High, walk in his ways, keep the commandments, keep the statutes. And then we are accountable if we either receive these blessings or we receive these curses. Just like he's speaking to Aaron and his sons. So yes, being in a position of authority is good, but understand that it comes with responsibility and accountability. You can't have one without the other. Let's go back to Numbers.
The book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 3. And they should keep thy charge.
Right.
And the charge of all the tabernacle.
No, so like verse 2.
Verse 2. And thy brother also the tribe of Levi, the tribe of thy father, bring thou with thee, that they may be joined unto thee, and minister unto thee. But thou and thy sons with thee shall minister before the tabernacle witness.
Right.
And they shall keep thy charge, and the charge of all the tabernacle. Only they should not come nigh the vessels of the sanctuary and the altar, that neither they nor ye also die. And they shall be joined unto thee, and keep the charge of the tabernacle of the congregation. For all the service of the tabernacle and a stranger shall not come nigh unto you. And ye shall keep the charge of the sanctuary, and the charge of the altar, that there be no wrath any more upon the children of Israel. And I, behold, I have taken taken your brethren, the Levites, from among the children of Israel. Today, to you they are given as a gift for Yahweh.
Right? Everybody has a different gift, man. Everybody has a different gift. And you can't downplay your gift because your gift came from who? Your gift came from the Most High. Right? Read.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 4.
Uh-huh.
Now there are diversities of gifts,
Read.
but the same Spirit.
But the what?
But the same Spirit.
Right? Because the Spirit of the Most High was working in the Kohathites, the Girgashites, right? Working in all the families of Levi. All to do what? The service of the Most High God. Even though he chose Aaron to be the priesthood, the Most High Spirit, when you're dealing with the tabernacle, you got to have the Spirit of the Most High on you, man. Can't be dealing with the spirit of Satan. Read.
And there are differences of administrations, but the same power.
It's a differences of administrations, but the same power. Moses have a different administration, right? He's in the office of the priesthood. The Kohathites, they have their administration. The Merarites, they have their administration. The Girgashites, they have their administration. Read.
And there are diversities of operations,
Uh-huh.
but it is the same power which worketh all in all.
Right? And the way that they go about their operations is different. Aaron, he got the sacrifices, he got the offerings, right? The Kohathites, they gotta deal with the table, all the other things. Everybody has their own operations within that administration. Read.
But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal.
Right? Exactly. At the end of the day, it's all for the profit of the Most High. It's all for the glory for the Most High. It's all for the profit of the nation, man. All right? Brothers, we have camps, whether you reading, holding posts, handing out flyers, guess what? It's all for what? Bringing back Jacob. All these different platforms, all these different schools that's being opened up is what? For one purpose, to bring back Jacob. Regardless of what. Listen, brothers who be doing the videos, making the videos look nice, audio recording, all that we need it, man. Because we're trying to do this thing professionally. Because like it says in Hebrews 3:1, this is our profession, man. Preaching the gospel is a profession. You got to do it with class. You got to do it with integrity. Can't take this thing lightly, no matter what it is that you're doing. If it's part of bringing Jacob back, do not take it lightly or look down upon it. Let's go back to Numbers.
The book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 7. Therefore, thou and thy sons with thee should keep your priest's office.
Right.
For everything of the altar and within the veil, and ye shall serve. I have given your priest's office unto you as a service of gift.
Right.
And the stranger that cometh nigh should be put to death. And the other one spake unto Aaron, behold, I also have given thee the charge of mine heave offering,
Right.
of all the hollow things of the children of Israel. Unto thee I have given them by reason of anointing, and to thy sons by an ordinance forever. This shall be thine of the most holy things, reserved from the fire. Every oblation of theirs, every meal offering of theirs, and every sin offering of theirs, and every trespass offering of theirs, which they shall render unto me, shall be most holy for thee and for thy sons. In the most holy place thou shalt eat it. Every male shall eat it. It should be holy unto thee.
Right. I when I was reading this, I kind of seen it like how a job description is set up. Right. You got your job description, and then you got the benefits that come with it. Look at all the benefits, right, that our priests got for doing the work of the Most High. And then the Most High is going to speak unto the Levites who are not in the priesthood. And just look at all the things that they get from doing the work of the Most High. Read.
And this is thine, the heap offering of their gift, with all the wave offerings of the children of Israel.
Right.
I have given them unto thee and to thy sons and to thy daughters with thee by a statute forever.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone that is clean in thy house shall eat of it.
All right.
All the best of the oil,
Mm-hmm.
all the best of the wine.
All right.
Damn, man.
Yeah,
So Johnny Walker
they got the benefits of being a priest, man. Can't beat that.
of the wheat,
Right.
of the first fruit of them,
All right.
which shall offer unto Yahweh, them have I given thee.
Mm-hmm.
And whatsoever is first ripe in the land, which they shall bring unto Yahweh, shall be thine. Everyone that is clean in the house shall eat of it. Everything devout in Israel shall be thine.
All right.
If I remember correctly, when it did the estimation, I believe they will get the estimation for the house, I believe, right?
Colin, you can get it. Yeah, if you wanted to vote, a house, you go ahead and do that. You get the estimation for it. The firstborn child is an unclean animal. Listen, everything, man. The Levites was good. They was the priests. Levites was good, man. They was chilling. All right, they was up, man. Because guess what? Everything that was given unto the Most High gave it to them.
Yeah.
The Most High don't need that. But everything that was just showing that giving spirit because their job was tough, man. Right? Look, like you said, Aaron had to break the emergency glass, get the sensor out of the state. You know, he had to run a full flat, man, to get over there. Man. He probably was tired at the end of this, man. It's a tough job dealing with the nation of Israel, man. How can that make intercession for them day in and day out? Read.
Just to add a little bit more, they had all the best suburbs in each of the 12 tribes. So they got free property in all 12 tribes, and they didn't have to. It couldn't be given up in jubilees. It couldn't be taken from them too.
Right.
So they were able to pick which cities they wanted. So they became a lot of benefits, property benefits too.
God.
Everything devout in Israel should be thine. Everything that openeth the matrix and all flesh which they bring unto Yahweh, whether it be of men or beasts, should be thine.
Right.
Nevertheless, the firstborn of men shalt thou surely redeem.
Mm-hmm.
And the firstling of unclean beasts shalt thou redeem.
Right.
And those that are to be redeemed from a month old shalt thou redeem, according to thine estimation, for the money of 5 shekels, after the shekel for sake of the sanctuary, which is 20 gerahs.
Mm-hmm.
For the firstling of a cow, or the firstling of a sheep, or the firstling of a goat, thou shalt not redeem. They are holy.
All right.
Thou shalt sprinkle their blood upon the altar, and shalt burn their fat for the offering made by fire, for a sweet savor unto Yahweh.
Right, so they couldn't neglect to offer up the sacrifices when the people brought it to them. Right, you couldn't have someone of the congregation bring their goat or something to be slaughtered and sacrificed, and you like, I think I'm gonna go ahead and sell this. No, you can't do that, man. It's a clean animal, right? Made for sacrifice. You gotta go ahead and offer up the sacrifice. Read.
And the flesh of them should be thine, as the wave breast,
Right.
and as the right shoulder are thine.
Read.
All the heap offerings of the holy things which the children of Israel offer unto Yahweh have I given thee,
Mm-hmm.
and thy sons and thy daughters with thee, by statute forever. It is a covenant of salt forever before Yahweh unto thee, and to thy seed with thee.
Right, the Most High made it a covenant, so what? This could never be changed. It couldn't be a new generation thing where the Levites and the priests are not being taken care of. It was gonna be perpetual, man. The Levites were gonna enjoy the best of the best, right? The tithe, the 10th part of the whole congregation of Israel, because they're what? They've been charged with the service of the Most High, the tabernacle. Read.
And Yahweh spake unto Aaron,
Uh-huh.
thou shalt have no inheritance in their land,
Right.
neither shalt thou have any part among them.
Uh-huh.
I am thy part in thine inheritance among the children of Israel.
Now, this is something that we can kind of see it as the state of the nation right now, because we don't have no inheritance or no part in this world. All right, even Ezra said that. Give me 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 57. We don't have no inheritance or no part in this world, man. They can come. We could let's say, everybody started to keep the commandments in the hood. What's stopping Esau from coming, just gentrifying the place and kicking everybody off and then putting us in different parts of the state? All right, they can go ahead and do that. Whenever we try to build something up, they can come and tear it down. We get the crumbs. We don't really have no inheritance or no part. We're what? We're slaves, man. They use us to gain profit. They create all of these sports leagues and all of these things to what? Put the children of Israel in them and then give them that money, man. Make them that money. Read that.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 57.
Uh-huh.
And now, O Adawan,
Right.
behold, these heathen,
These what?
these heathen,
Read.
which have ever been reputed as nothing,
Uh-huh.
have begun to be lords over us,
Right.
and to devour us.
Read.
But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn,
Uh-huh.
have only begotten, and thy favorite lover,
Right.
are given into their hands.
Read.
If the world not be made for our sins, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world?
Right.
How long shall this endure?
So we ask that question. We like, yo, we the Most High people. Why we gotta live like this? Right? Why we ain't got no property to hand down to our children? Now they can say, well, it's about financial literacy. Listen, if everybody's trying to start going buying acres of land, trust me, they will come up with a law that would prohibit it. They will put some type of stumbling block to stop the progression, man. So don't be fooled. Oh, it's because we're not financially literate. It's because we're not coming together. No, it's not about that. Because all they have to do is implement a law that would stop us from gaining those assets, and then what? Now we back to 201. But what? Through the midst of all of that, we find out that we're the children of the Most High. We find out that we're the only ones that's going to get the rulership in the kingdom of heaven. We find out that the laws have been committed to us, and now what? It's become a comfort. We can now delve into these scriptures and say, you know what? We might not have a part in the world, but the heathens don't have a part in this. All right? This is ours and ours alone. Give me Psalms chapter 73, verse 26. Psalms 73 and verse 26. That's a comfort, man, to know that, guess what? The Most High got something reserved for us and just us. And don't feel bad about it, because we don't have no part in this world, man. They cast out the children of Israel. Remember, they all came together with one consent to try to do what? Blot out our name from under heaven, man. So that be no more remembrance. All right. These are the same people who came together trying to do it. They still try to do it to this day. But the Most High wasn't going to let it happen. Because the Most High will never forsake his people. Read.
The book of Psalms, chapter 73, verse 26.
Read.
My flesh and my heart failed it.
Right, going through these curses, man, your flesh and your heart can fail. Your mind can give in to the pressures of society and all the woes and the worries. But read.
But Yahweh is the strength of my heart.
The Most High is what?
The strength of my heart.
Read.
And my portion forever.
And my what?
And my portion forever.
So just like the Most High was the portion unto the Levites, and they didn't have any inheritance in the land, that's how we should feel, man. The Most High is our portion. Give me Psalms 142, verse 5, then we're going to go back. Give me Psalms 142, verse 5. You should feel good, man, that you have the chance of getting to the kingdom of heaven.
The book of Psalms, chapter 142, verse 5.
Read.
I cried unto thee, O Yahweh.
Right.
I said, thou art my refuge.
Thou art my what?
My refuge.
Thou art my refuge. When you down and out, we got to go into the Most High. Listen, we still live in those same conditions, but something feel better, right? Your spirit feel better. You're not worried as much. You're not focused on the dream house and the dream car and the dream career. I'm not saying you being a sluggard, but you're more focused on the reward that you can get from the Most High, because why? It's eternal. The dream job you can get, the company can go out of business in 7 years. Then what? The dream car you can get, the motor can blow in 30 days. The house you can get, you can find termites under the boards in 6 months.
Yeah.
But with the reward that the Most High give you, it's gonna last forever, man. And we should find comfort in that. Read.
In my portion in the land of the living.
In my portion of the what?
In the land of the living.
That's what we have to look forward to. That's our portion. While Esau living in his sky rises, Moab got the technology that should be in the 31st century, right? Everybody in Dubai driving Lamborghinis. Guess what? Your portion is in the Most High God, man. Because all of those things are going to wither away. And then you're going to have the kingdom forever, man. Even forever and ever. So think about that. Deal with your portion. Deal with what's for you. We know that this word is not for the nation of Israel, because they're not for our power. So they definitely not for his people. But don't mind that, man. Just worry about what your portion is, which is these laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? The love of the Most High. The kingdom of heaven to come. Let's go back. Yeah, precept that.
No, I think like Colossians 3:3.
Colossians 3 and 3?
Yeah.
So like, let's get that. Give me Colossians 3 and 2. Let's see
I
what
mean,
that's
3 and 2. Sorry.
3 and 2. Let's see what Colossians 3 and 2 says. Yeah, come on, good precept. Good precept.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 2.
Great.
Set your affection on things above, not on things on earth.
That sums it up right there, man. Set your affection on the things of the Most High, what the Most High is giving you. Imagine you got a book that's in front of you that gives you all the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to deal with every aspect of life. To know how to govern your household, to know how to govern yourself. This is life, man. This is worth more than anything else. Imagine how good it feels. Imagine how big of a flex it is to rock the wisdom of the Most High. All right, we talk about the Balenciaga, Gucci, Louis, right, and the four whips. People love us about that. Imagine you know when you go into the supermarket, what food you can pick up and what you could. That's a right. That's right. Nah, man, I ain't gonna pick up them pork loins, man, because we ain't supposed to eat that, right? Imagine you go into a party, you go into a place, and you know how to deal with a woman. Right? The respect that you know how to deal with your mother and father. That's a big flex. That's a big thing. And it's all because of wisdom, man. Rock the wisdom of the Most High. Make that factual. Make that the thing. Just like the one brother in high school who wore shoes that nobody thought was fresh, but he found a way to make them look good. Do that with the scriptures, man. Make the scriptures look good, man.
You got sketches on, you had tied laces a certain way.
Right, something. He did something, and then next thing you know, everybody else followed, man. All because one dude made it look fresh. That's our obligation as Israelites, man. We gotta make the scriptures look like the thing to be, man. For the other nation to say, look how wise these people is, man. Surely the Most High is amongst them. That's what you should be dealing with. Let's go back to Numbers.
Verse 21.
Uh-huh.
And behold, I have given the children of Levi
Right.
all the tenth in Israel for an inheritance, for their service which they serve, even the service of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Right.
Neither must the children of Israel henceforth come nigh the tabernacle of the congregation, lest they bury sin and die. But the Levites shall do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. They shall bear their iniquity. Right. It should be a statute forever throughout your generations, that among the children of Israel they have no inheritance.
Right.
But the tithes of the children of Israel, which they offer as an heave offering unto the idol one, I have given to the Levites to inherit. Therefore I have said unto them, among the children of Israel they shall have no inheritance.
Right.
And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Thus speak unto the Levites, and say unto them, when ye take of the children of Israel the tithes, which I given you from them for your inheritance, then ye shall offer up a heave offering of it for Yahweh, even a tenth part of the tithe. And this your heave offering shall be reckoned unto you. Has it weighed the corn of the threshing floor, has the fullness of the winepress. Thus ye shall offer a heave offering unto Yahweh of all your tithes which ye receive of the children of Israel. You should give thereof Yahweh your heave offerings to Aaron the priest.
So even the Levites, who were not of the priesthood, had to give a tenth of the tenth that they received from the children of Israel. So it was always a given spirit. The congregation gave unto the Levites also gave unto the priests. And that's how the order was, man. So everybody's good. Everybody's getting a share. Nobody's being left out, man. All right, so there should be no envy or no strife. Everybody's getting a piece of the pie. Really. Right, everybody eating. All right, and that's probably where we get our mentality from, man. Right? I want everybody to eat. Little do we know, the Most High came up with that, right?
He said he's gonna smoke them.
Right.
Everybody get a song who wants smoke.
The Most High is the author of beauty, man. Read.
Out of all your gifts, you should offer every heave offering of Yahweh of all the best thereof, even the hollow part thereof out of it. Therefore thou shalt say unto them, when ye have heaved the best thereof from it, then it should be counted unto the Levites as the increase of the threshing floor, and as the increase of the winepress. And ye shall eat it in every place, ye and your households, for it is your reward for your service in the tabernacle of the congregation.
It's your what?
Your reward for your service in the tabernacle of the congregation.
The Most High is showing us, man, you get a reward for the work that you put in, man. And it's going to be abundant, and it's going to be the best. Most High just, what was that thing I seen on Facebook? The dude who was working at Burger King for 27 years and they gave him a goodie bag. The Most High is not going to treat his children like that, man. Imagine that. He on time. The man's
Nobody gave him money. They gave him money.
No, people raised money for him. But the company themselves gave him a goodie bag. He said it looked like they just had stuff laying around. Probably was a lollipop from somebody's purse right? Sitting in there for months, and they just put in the goodie bag, give it to the brother, man. Right? Of course, he's an Israelite, so they're like, nothing. But 27 years of service.
Oh.
And they get a man a goodie bag. But look at everything the Most High give us, man. I know the Haitian man want to get back to doing this, man, because I know your job don't give you this. They don't give you the best of the best. Right? Look. Kind of like, nah. Right? They work you like a dog, and then when you call out sick, they're ready to fire you. I'm sick. Right?
Even when you was a servant to another Israelite,
Right.
your boss let you go off for nothing. You had to give you a pension, basically a pension.
Right.
At the end, even when you sold yourself to be a servant.
Right. Yeah, you have to be with something. But this is you don't like you get knocked for it. You got a good job at this. That's what I read. You want to do decently and always you know, by your ancestors for you. Get a little bit more financial, literate and starting to take it upon ourselves to go out and get the information. And we gotta understand these people who are rich, it's not them. Every man got 2 arms, 2 eyes, 2 legs to speak and hear, but
you're not gonna learn how to really be a man if you're not around men to teach you how to be men. If you're not gonna know how to be a proper daughter of Zion and not a daughter of Babylon or your wife, unless you have sisters that's trained and teach you how to be that. So tune into these classes. What we should bring up is you can't get married unless you go through these classes, because these classes really build you up. Because the brothers, we don't want no terrorists in the truth.
That's right.
Because if that was the case, we'd go out to brunch and go out to the strip club and go find them.
Right.
These classes are here to build you up so you get brothers like us that actually call on the name of the Most High, and not these brothers who stingy with these McDonald's meals on social media. So I just want to say that.
Good. Sunday, July 24th is going to be the day at the beach. So details will come from the family committee. We'll be out there to be fun, filled with excitement. It's a great family event to come out. So Sunday, July 24th, continue to monitor, the Light of Zion chat, as to details pertaining to this day.
You know what you mean?
We do have a High Holy Day coming up. September 24th will be the memorial blowing of the trumpets. So we are in need for volunteers to be on the planning committee to have this day be glorious. If you are interested in doing so, please contact Sister Zipporah to help with the preparation and the planning of this holy convocation. And then October 8th to October 15th will be the Feast of Tabernacle. And we will be holding that at the Lion Country Safari, located at 2000 Lion Country Safari Road, Loxahatchee, Florida, 33470. You can call them at 561-793-1084 to make reservations. At this time, there is no cabins available, so you would have to do the tent, and the tent site cost is $55 a night. So if you plan on being there all 7 days, it's going to be around $435. All right, family, so that is our announcements. Are there any comments, questions, or concerns? No, with the assumption that YouTube, just in case anybody online, is there anything being said?
Not about the comments.
All right, so I want to say with that, Amadium Wapanya Hapunam, rise and face the east. That's one back. This is the book of Psalm, chapter 67, in the Lashawan Kodash. Repeat the Hebrew. Natazak, Nayana, Mazamor, Shayar, Alahai, Hanan, Barak, Panyam, Awar, Salah, Darak, Yadai, Aratazar, Yashawai, Gawam, Ain, Yada, Alahai, Ain, Yada, La Amayam, Shamak, Ranan, Shapat, Ain, Mayashwar, Nakar, La Amayam, Aratazar, Salah, Ain, Yada, Alahai, Ain, Yada, Aratazar, Nathan, Yabawala, Alahai, Barak, Alahai, Barak, Apas, Aratazar, Yarab, Bahasham, Hamashiach, Yahushai, the water, Yad, Aman. Abanaw Yahweh, we come unto you, the humble heart, mind, and soul. The water Yahweh for the blessed Shabbat day that you have given unto us. The water Yahweh for bestowing your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding upon us through your word. We thank you, Lord, for all the souls in this room, Lord, and all your children, Lord, who are keeping your holy Shabbat this day, O Yahweh, who all have a fervent desire, Lord, to return back unto you by taking heed to your laws, statutes, and commandments. We ask, Lord, that you continue to watch over the nation. We ask, Lord, that you continue to be with us in all things, continue to reprove us and correct us, O Yahweh, to serve your judgment, your justice, Lord, and your compassion upon us each and every day, O Yahweh. Thank you once again, Lord, for all that you have done for us, O Yahweh. And may we continue, Lord, to exalt your name to the highest. Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahushua. Throughout the yard, Aman.
Amen.
Give us a round of applause.
There's no power like Yahweh, breaking of the universe, always doing wondrous things. Let all Israel sing, amen. Sing amen, 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 amen. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Amen, 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 amen. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Countdown, countdown, countdown. 1, Abraham. 2, Isaac. 3, Jacob. 4, brothers wake up. 5, to reality. 6, nationality. Hit it. Israel, 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 Israel. Late at night when I'm sleeping and my spirit starts to creeping in my bones. In my bones, in my bones, in my bones. Let's get to heaven. Let's get to heaven. When I get to heaven, when I get to heaven, people gonna say, how'd you earn your living? How you earn your living? And how'd you earn your pay? How you earn your pay? And I reply with a little bit of anger. I earn my living as an Israelite ranger. I earn my living as an Israelite ranger. I carry my Bible by my side. I carry my Bible by my side. Gonna carry my Bible to the day I die. Gonna carry my Bible to the day I die. Israel, Israel. Hallelujah. 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 Praise his name. Praise his name. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All praises. Whoa, 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 whoa. Standing tall, looking good. Standing tall, looking good. Preaching to our neighborhood. Preaching to our neighborhood. Standing tall, looking good. Standing tall, looking good. Preaching to our neighborhood. Preaching to our neighborhood. Yelling, whoa, 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 Hallelujah. 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 Praise his name. Hallelujah. Praise his name. Hallelujah. 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 All praises. Get the most high hand. Like this.
Ooh,